Welcome, friends, one and all, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, to the Voyage of the Siren Song, our Pathfinder 1E, Skull and Shackles, homebrew conglomeration of tons of piratical goodness and fun. I'm your historian, your storyteller, your weaver of tales, your man of the most integrity, Captain, the one true captain, I should say, Adam Conn. I am here to take you all on a voyage. But I'm not here alone. I'm actually here with another group as well, too. The crew of said Siren Song. And let us say hello. Hello, crew! How is everybody doing this evening?
Hello!
Ahoy, Captain!
Yes,
very well, thank you.
Aha, good. The one true captain, because our other captain is currently gone. Philip Rossi is actually a daddy, and he has daddy things he must attend to for now. So you shall see that screen not there with his face in it for a little bit. He shall return. Hey guys, how's it going?
Captain Daddy?
Yes, Captain Daddy.
Doing
Daddy
good.
Captain.
Ready to get some
Call him
adventures
Daddy
going.
when he gets in.
Good, because we have a voyage to continue. We have a tale to tell as well. But before we do that, a little bit about whom we are. I told you already. I am Adam Conn, the one true captain. And I'll actually pass it to our first mate down to my lower left, Miss Diana Restrepo. Take it away. Tell them who you are, who you're playing, and tell them your, not Azara's favorite thing. I want Diana's favorite thing about being a pirate. You're muted, love.
Oh.
Diana, I think you're muted. We can't hear you. She's not muted. All right, you might have to call back
Someone's stolen her voice.
Oh no!
Oh no, Wendy looks
Have you
frozen as
been
well too.
faced with some giant squid ladies that steal your voice?
Oh, it's all right.
I've known that has happened on the high seas.
Let's pass it down to you then, Dustin. You go ahead, tell everybody who you are, who you're playing, and why do you, Dustin Zaney, like being a pirate, my friend?
Oh, hi everyone. I am Dustin Zaney. I am playing the Hobgoblin Alchemist Eek, and I love playing a pirate because it gives us so much a chance to. Normally, when you're in like a normal tabletop role playing kind of adventure, you have to walk everywhere. But since we're on the high seas, an adventure can happen at any moment. We can go all over the place and explore so many different lands and so many different fun and exciting creatures and get into so much trouble. So that's one reason why I love being a pirate.
Good. Diana, have you returned? Is she back?
I think so. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
there she is!
Yay!
She has
Hopefully,
returned!
I'm not freezing anymore.
Well, I would hope not. It's not quite winter where we're at. It's a little bit different for Mr. Brent. But go ahead, my dear. Who you are, who you're playing, and why you, Diana, like being a pirate.
All right, I am Diana Restrepo. I am playing Azara, the first mate. And the reason why I like being a pirate is because as pirates, you can get away with pretty much anything. It's very much an open sea sandbox. And it's just fun. It's just something completely fun and different. And I enjoy it. And I enjoy being a pirate in real life, too. For those of you who know what Adam and I, and actually almost everyone here, has done as work.
Yeah. So all you guys know, yeah, all of us, excluding James Chu, we all come from a sword fighting background. We all worked together for a birthday party company, and we all fought with swords for multiple years as pirates, as Star Wars as well, too. But James Chu is not part of that family because he is now a horny devil guy. Go ahead, James Chu, take it away.
That was a weird intro. I'm not comfortable with that.
You're welcome.
Hello. My name is James Chu. I play Lockhart, the Redskin Raven. My favorite part of this adventure is the gold. The sweet money. Where I could buy stuff like a crop top mithril chain shirt.
Gross.
and ultimately have it taken away from you. Perfect.
I'm not still upset
Before
about
you even
that,
got away.
guys.
Yeah, clearly.
Really? I had no idea.
Nope. I've gotten over it
You're
completely.
humbly excited to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You can pass it down to Miss Wendy. Miss Wendy looks a little choppy right now, but I think she's still there.
I'm slightly frozen in anticipation of winter. What's
Oh
happening?
no, we're losing
I,
Wendy too
I,
now.
I think we're losing Wendy.
God damn it! What's with all the women?
Great,
Wow,
great,
it's getting
great.
so much.
What's happening?
Great night with internet and audio stuff tonight, guys.
Oh, so sorry.
Things I think are going crazy in LA. I mean, Brent, you look like you're doing okay down there as well too. Wendy, you still there? I think she's still
Yeah.
there.
I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm here.
We can hear you.
You're there. We can hear you.
Yeah,
We can hear you.
we can hear you.
Oh,
But go
at
ahead.
least
Tell them who
there's
you are,
that.
who you're playing, and why you like being a pirate, Miss Wendy.
I like to freeze myself a lot of the times because if I don't move, they can't
Perfect.
see me.
Excellent.
That's what I've learned in the open seas here in this game. And aside from searching for the murder of my parents, who were merchants, not traders, merchants,
Better way.
Traders.
Perfect.
You're never gonna live that one down.
Traders. I also enjoy having the most adorable companion Taco in this game, as well as putting people to sleep in every game, to all of Adam's NPCs, and sometimes my own teammate to sleep. That's the best part about being a pirate witch.
Pirate witch putting everybody to sleep. And then we'll finish us off as of now for Mr. Brent. How you doing today, sir? Tell them who you are.
I'm doing pretty good.
Talk about your favorite hairstyle as well too, please.
All right. All right. I'm Brent Horse. I play Bennett Ishmael. And my favorite hairstyle right now is a shaggy mane, as you can tell. Yes, my character has it. I made my character like that because I'm jealous. That's really the only reason.
Aww.
That's not true.
Well, I
But
mean,
it
I make
makes it
my
fun.
characters taller because I'm jealous.
Yeah, there's a little bit. Just like all the characters that I've made are they're bigger. Anyway, yes. Why I like pirate is what Azar said or Diana said, because I can't do it in real life. If I did do it in real life, I'd get in trouble. And this is probably the best way of playing out my fantasies. So, yes, I'm enjoying this very much because of that reason.
Piratical hairy fantasies. I like it. That's what I like to hear as a pirate, my friend.
Well, when you say
Excellent.
it like that, I might have to change my mind.
Okay, that leads us into our rating of the show. You will find, because we're all pirates, ladies and gentlemen, we are rating the show as a rated R for language. I mean, there are F-bombs, there's... Actually, you guys haven't even figured out where the bilges is called just yet. We'll get to that one of these days. And very dirty humor as a pirates as well. But we also, for the show as well, too, we have donations that you can do. There will be a donation card that will pop through. But to let all of you know, for our donations, for $5, you can donate a golden coin to a player. That player can then use that golden coin to give themselves a +1 to any roll, or they can give somebody else a -1 if they so desire. They don't want to do that to me because that would just be really mean. But it is a golden coin for a +1 or a -1. For $10, you can give a player a platinum piece, which gives them essentially a re-roll. If they fail on something, they can roll it again. So pretty platinum piece for $10. For $25, we have what we like to call treasure or pirate's booty. And as we saw a couple episodes ago, that is going to give our pirates something special that they can use along their journey, at least for this whole time that we're doing Voyage of the Siren song. And everybody's favorite, for $30, you can cast Magic of the Sea, and it is wild magic, ladies and gentlemen. As we saw in our first episode, our captain became drunk, Bennett became a fishman, and Eek currently has a personal rain cloud over his head. As he was flying. Too bad there was no fires. I would have loved to have seen that. He would have been the fireman for the episode. And then our big one for $50, you can have us roll on the D8 table. We haven't had that just yet. I like to call it the good or bad table because there's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff. You don't know what's actually going to be what until we actually have that happen, which it can be fun. Failures and successes make stories incredibly entertaining. But that's what I have for all of you. You'll see that donation card go through all of our cards that we have down at the bottom. Let's go into a recap and let's get to some pirate fun. Is everybody ready?
Ready?
Mhm.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Ready.
All
Ahoy!
right. Last week, we all started you all decided to investigate this giant explosion that happened on the ship far off in the distance in front of the Siren Song. Azara crawled up to the crow's nest while she's shouting back and forth with Shortstone. There's this whole shouting match. Everybody's like 60 feet away from each other, all in good piratical fun. Sends Pluck over her bird, her blue and gold macaw that's plucked feathers. Sends him over to investigate, bring any information back. While that's all happening, everybody's looking forward. Our crazy alchemist, as he's working down in his lab, has something happen to him. It starts raining on him, but all this crazy stuff starts happening. He gets super excited. He runs up on the deck, starts taking all these potions. This contraption that he made actually fuses into his body. He goes running over and flies over the side of the ship, and he dies. It was really sad. Sad end to eat. That happened there.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, Dustin. But no, he did not die, because then everybody saw him fly up like this magical, mythical, beautiful 4.5 foot tall green creature that he is, with wings sprouting from his back. That gives me 3 people that can now fly, which is great. This means I'm gonna have to pull like a Game of Thrones and just start shooting you guys out of the sky with ballistas and everything, like Daenerys' dragons were shot down. Just saying, no spoilers. It's been out for a couple years. If you haven't seen it yet, that's on you. Lockhart and Bennett decided to take the brothers over to investigate the gaping hole that was in the side of the ship that was floating. Bennett crawls inside, and massive dead bodies, and there he saw 4 creatures, giant gaping mouth of razor blade fangs, almost like fish-like creatures, these gills and these fins that go down their back carrying tridents, called the Sawagan. Very deadly, nasty creatures. He decides to hop back out, but there was one person that did not know that was Bennett. It was a tiefling that actually woke up last episode, tied up inside of his hammock, because he decided to take a nap in the middle of our first campaign. It's okay. James Chu is off being a pirate somewhere. Well, not even a pirate. He was a Viking, still a warrior. All good. But he saw this man wearing a bucket on his head with this glass face filled with water. We called him Buckethead Man, Bucket Man. I forgot what your name was.
Mr. Buckethead.
Mr. Buckethead.
Mr.
Please.
Buckethead.
Put
Sorry.
respect on his name.
You're right. You're right. I apologize for that. So I should say Lockhart, Mr. Buckethead, and the 4 brothers went over. Mr. Buckethead jumps inside the hole, and he's the one that sees all this stuff. Really, it was Bennett. Lockhart doesn't know that. Neither does James Chu. I'm covering my mouth so James Chu can't hear me properly. Jumps back. Lockhart goes, whatever. Makes multiples of himself. He hops in the hole. Bennett hops back in the hole as well, too. They take care of these creatures. The captain, Aradia, and Azara hop in another ship to make their way over to help. Eek flies into the hole and starts throwing bombs as Bennett is breaking the creatures. Lockhart is breaking my game. Eek decides to break the ship even more as well too in his alchemical fashion. As the ladies and the captain are getting closer to the side of the hole, 4 of these creatures jump up, grab the 4 brothers, yank them over the sides, and Azara and Aradia, not even thinking for a second, decide to dive into the water to try to save them. After everybody in the ship murders them, and Azara is able to murder at least one of them, Mikhail just cuts one of their heads off, and Aradia tries to put him to sleep. Didn't work that time. Suck it, Wendy Lee. Or I should say Aradia. Can't put my creatures to sleep all the time. Don't give me a thumbs down. I will murder your character right here now. I won't do that because that's really mean. But it's all right. We're pirates. You guys save the brothers, start taking them back as the captain and Lockhart decide that they want to investigate the ship a little bit more while it is now starting to sink even faster. Eek flies in. Captain finds some papers inside the captain's quarters. Eek finds a chest, yells for Lockhart to go and grab it, grabs it. Then the 2 of them have a really cool Jack Sparrow moment with the captain on Lockhart's back. He just steps right onto the other dinghy as the ship sinks into the water. Everybody makes it back over to the Siren Song, and you all open up your, I was going to say baskets, your treasure chest of goodies, and you found a lot of really cool stuff inside there. And then to finish out the day, you all know that you have at least a day and a half to get to Tidewater Rock, where we are currently heading towards, to see if we can strike a deal, if we can actually talk to the Lady of the Rock, see what's actually going on, see if we can unload some of these goods that you guys have pretty much gotten onto your ship the past couple weeks. That is where we ended. Everybody decided to go to sleep. Did anybody take a watch that night? Or
I would
anybody
have probably
stayed
taken
up?
a watch.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, actually, no, you did. I remember you and Arada did stay up for a little bit, and I had you guys make a perception check. You failed. Nothing bad happened. I promise. You're totally fine. But what I
Oh,
would like
someone's
all
gone
of you to
missing,
do,
huh?
maybe somebody
The
has
captain's
gone
gone.
missing. But first, before we hop into our adventure as well, too, let us hop over into some chat as well, too, and say hi to our fans. Say hi to everybody, because I know we've got a lot of people in there. As everybody else is looking, it looks like Adam Kimbleton, what a cool guy. He subscribed for 29 months saying, "What's up, friends?" Alex Rogue 460 has subscribed for 21 more months in a row. Dwall Stone Range, James Chu, subscribing tier 1 for 34 months. John Christian, the real POTUS, resubscribing tier 2 for 46 months in a
Hi,
row. John Christian, absolutely love
Woo!
you.
46
Alex
MVP.
Rowe,
Ow.
gifting a sub to Batman Saro. And then also we had Black Loki 3004 has followed us, and Dustin Darth Zany
Black
is
Loki.
hosting
Black
us
Loki!
as well too.
Yay! Thanks, guys.
We also a couple days ago had Overkill Live followed us, and then almost a week ago on Monday, Perk 36741 has also followed us as well too, guys. Thank you all so
Nice.
very much. And let's see what chat is up to. What kind of commotion are you guys getting? Oh, looks like we got Daniel Lands in chat as well too.
Hey, hey.
Daniel Lands, what is up, everybody?
He says dragons are cool if they're on your side. Otherwise, run!
Accurate.
I
Saw
added
that
the
back in the
run
Dragons
part.
Things Day. Yeah. Scott Denuzo also saying pirates get away with murder. That's right. As we saw in the very first episode, they murdered people. Maybe that's why people ran
Especially
them out of
those who
town.
murdered
Who
my
knows?
parents.
You don't know that they murdered your parents. You don't know. You don't know what happened.
The real POTUS 98 saying, "Whoa, who would use an F-bomb on this channel?"
Diana Restrepo, Dustin
Everyone.
Daney, James Chu, Adam Conn. Philip Rossi dropped one on the first episode, and I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
think that Brent or
But
Wendy
that was
have
because
dropped
he
one
was
yet, have
drunk.
Brandy or
That's
Wendy
because
have not.
Yet.
think-
Not
yet.
yet.
Clip
yet.
me 7 times where I dropped the F-bomb. And I'll admit it. Because I know there's at least
But until someone
But-
clips it, he will deny it to the very end of the episode, end of the
minimum
series.
7. I just wait until someone clips it and it's like 72 times. I'm like, oh,
Uh-oh.
fuck.
So
have to make, like, a
there's
little
a
mark.
There it is.
There it is.
There we go,
Clip that.
James.
Clip
There's
that.
one.
Here we go. Let's
There's
put
one.
that F-bomb in there, friends.
It's
There's
one.
one.
It's one.
Bam,
Man,
F-bomb
clip.
going.
There is a very important question in chat from
All right.
Star Drew. Isn't
Okay.
a crop top a lady thing?
I already addressed this. No, it's not. Men
No, you
can
did,
have
but-
crop tops.
I know. Anyone can have
Crop
a
top
Okay.
time here.
Have you ever seen Friday Night Lights?
Nope.
Yeah, crop tops.
Yeah. And I think we also talked
Yeah.
about how it could chafe your nipples too, Lockhart. So be very careful of that.
Okay, so you know how it's not going to chase my nipples? Magic.
There we go. You know what? That I'll
Oh.
accept it. I'll accept it.
That
The
makes it
rule
all
of
better.
cool. Not gonna chafe your nipples because of magic. Excellent. I like
We'll
it.
put some,
I like it. I
I'll
like
make
it. I
some
like it.
magic pasties for you, Lockhart.
Perfect.
Magic
Excellent,
pasties.
excellent.
They have little tassels.
Eric Frankhouse is in the house. Hi, Eric.
Oh,
Eric
ow.
Frankhouse.
Eric.
What's up, brother? How's it going, my man? Eric Frankhouse, as everybody knows. Also, Diana, my GM over on Norse Foundry channel for Alien Connections, which is gonna be gone for a couple weeks. But that's fine. That's fine. And he does all sorts of other stuff over on his channel on Norse Foundry. Frankhouse, how did the show go Friday night? Because they had West Birch Academy Black Friday night for like their
Ooh.
fifth episode. One of those two. I hope it went well.
Nice.
But let us
We
continue.
found a
on.
solution to the problem of the crop top. Batman Sarah says, I was just going to suggest pasties.
Perfect.
Ah, see?
I like
Yes.
that.
Pumpkin
There you go.
pasties.
Pumpkin
Right.
pasties.
Alike.
Two
Pumpkin.
quick things. Hello, Eric. Excited for you to play on Wednesday. And then Star Drew said Mr. Buckethead is taller than Lockhart, and I wanna say that is canon. I did admit,
That's true.
and he was intimidated by Mr. Buckethead's stature. So
Oh.
something that Brent or Bennett, something that Bennett could never be.
Never.
Never taller. Never taller.
Yeah.
Well, Brent probably couldn't, but Bennett could because Bennett actually has a mop on his head.
I know. Well, Brent, I think in real life is taller than me, and I was also larger than me. So this is my moment.
Depends. How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
I love
I
that we're
can
talking
just
about these
tell
ice
you're
cubes.
tall, and I've never met you in
just a
person.
subtle, just a
Oh
subtle.
my god. Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Boys, are we
Alright.
done?
Point.
Sorry.
I'd like to
Oh,
say
my
Are they
horns
measuring
are
their
askew.
centimeters again?
All the way
Tally
down to
ho.
them centimeters. All right, friends. Everybody decided. Everybody is currently asleep. What I need from the crew is I need everybody to give me a will save, please. As you all
Oh,
dream.
we're gonna start this off right.
Starting it off right, ladies and gentlemen. Starting it
Oh
off
my
right.
9.
24.
9, 24.
Oh,
I rolled
That's
an
a
18.
natural 1.
Awesome.
High five.
18 for
high five.
Aradia and Taco.
18.
13 for Eek.
13 for Eek. Aradia and Azara, you hear your wake-up call, the breakfast bell, as Fish Guts right over in the gallery, making some breakfast happen. Eek, you guys actually, as you two are climbing out of bed, you both actually notice that Bennett and Lockhart and Eek are both still, or all three, still asleep as they're dreaming. Fish Guts actually, are you going to try to wake them up or not? You got to let them sleep.
Who's that question towards?
The ladies, you're the only two that saved.
Oh.
Wendy, what's that laugh for? What's Aradia doing here?
Don't like that. Don't like that.
Aradia is going to saunter over to she's going to walk over to Lockhart's. What are these things called?
Hammocks.
Yep.
I was like, sleeping bed? Hammocks.
Sleeping bed.
And she's going to motion
Sleeping nets.
for Azara to silently come over to the side. And I'm
Okay.
going to motion my hands and I'm going to grab one side of the hammock. And I'm going to say, I will whisper, on the count of 3. 1, 2, and prehensile hair to help with the push. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to push him over.
Perfect.
Out of
Both
the
of you
hammock.
give me a strength check, please, because remember, Lockhart is a big dude. I mean, Azara
How do I
is
do this
almost,
with-
she's a little bit bigger than, or she's a little bit tinier than the guys, but she's still pretty.
Singing, whispering a lullaby.
Wait, hold on. I gotta hear it. What does the singing whisper lullaby sound like?
It's time to wake up and face your face on the floor, you pirate. Here we go. And go. Oh, it's dumb.
Works for me. It's a
Don't say
whisper
that. It
song.
was
You're not
great.
used to whisper song. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Give me those strength checks, please, ladies.
It's not great. With my singing, it's a 12.
Now, Radia, if you want to, you can also take that singing as well too, because of her, and you can give yourself, what is that, a +2 or a +4 for her? That's a +2.
Okay, yes.
Where are you at now?
+2?
I don't know what you're at.
No, hold on. It's a +3.
+3 to your strength.
Okay, that
Ooh,
gives
so now you
me-
have a strength right now, Aradia.
I had +3.
16, but what
Damn,
if
she got
I used my prehensile hair to assist as well?
Are you using your prehensile hair to help flip, and you're also doing it, or are you just using your hair?
Yes. Both are
Yes.
doing so the hair as an
Both,
extra
okay.
pair of hands.
Okay, give me another strength check, and I'll see if give me another strength check for your hair. as well.
Natural 19.
Natural 19. Yeah, you as soon as you do that, like Azara is up like at his like torso and stuff, but you're able to like wrap around his waist, and you've got his feet, and you guys easily flip him over. Lockhart just boom falls flat on
And
his
as
face
he-
because he doesn't sleep on the top. And as he hits, yes.
As he hits the deck, I'm going to say, Bennett, how could you?
Oh, Bennett.
And I'm
that
going
was
to grab
rude.
Azara's arm and we're gonna run. We're gonna just run.
Plug!
Are you guys giggling as you run?
100%. I am anyways.
Okay, yes.
100% giggling as they run from flipping Lockhart over onto his stomach. Lockhart, Bennett, and Eek. The three of you are sleeping, having good old dreams. Eek, what are you dreaming about tonight?
Well, I'm having one of my normal dreams of working at my my alchemist's lab, or at least what I have right now in the boat is more of just like a table that's screwed to a wall. But in my dreams, it is like a full-on laboratory. You got bubbling beakers. You've got like this one weird machine that has like bzzz, like sparks going. It's like a Tesla coil that's going off, and all of these like cool bubbling noises that are going. Occasionally, you just have a random explosion going off somewhere, and he's getting all of these different ideas that he's like drawing down, and he's has it's just all of these different like papers are everywhere, and he's just looking like he's mad at work.
Lockhart, what about you? You're fast asleep, my friend. What are you dreaming about? You're not a mermaid
So
statue.
I picture it's like a 90s montage of him and Mr. Buckethead like doing random things around the port and everything, like maybe skipping on the sand and hold Mr. Buckethead makes him close his eyes. He opens them. He has the mithril chain shirt, crop top. Lockhart's all excited, and then he pulls out a second one. They're both in it. They're in the water having fun. He's like he's having a moment.
It's a great dream. And Bennett, are you having the same, or as I should say, codename Mr. Buckethead? What are you dreaming about?
I'm not Mr. Buckethead. That's some moron that left the ship last. Yeah, I'm not actually him.
Okay.
I'm having my own dream that has nothing to do with Lockhart. I'm walking along the beach, and I actually have Celia with me, who people don't know is my wife, deceased. But yeah, it's actually kind of a happy dream, and I don't want to wake up right now. I'm really enjoying it, and I do see in the sand 3 other pairs of footprints that have like run out ahead of me. I don't see where they went, but I know that there's 3 other sets of footprints that they ran ahead. Don't know where they are, that they belong to my son and 2 daughters. I'm just enjoying the walk along the beach, seeing the sun. Yeah, enjoying the moment as long as I can.
Yeah. And as you're sitting there, Bennett, you're seeing your kids like splash around in the water. Your wife just reaches down and grabs your hand. As you see your 2 daughters and your son splashing around, you actually hear more splashing. You actually look to the right and you see this giant red tiefling and this dude wearing a bucket on his head, and they're like wearing these like metal crop tops, and they're both just like running almost like in slow motion, like dun, dun, na, 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 na. Having loads of fun.
Do my best to ignore them.
And then you hear just like some banging, and it sounds like some paper. You look back, and it's like this cutout of a ship, and you see Eek standing there, just like pouring mixtures and everything into these bottles. And then you hear just off in the distance a little bit like the sound of thunder. You kind of look back, but there's but it's just like just sun, all this bright sun in front of you, and you hear this thunder, and you look around, but you don't see anything. You can't tell if it's maybe it's an explosion. You look back at Eek. He's not creating really anything. There's bubbles coming up out of all these concoctions and everything. He's not doing his typical thing of making bombs, but you just hear that in the distance, and you look around, and you kind of look out at your kids, and you realize that all 3 of them have stopped, and you're still kind of walking. You feel kind of like a tug on your hand. You look back, and Celia and your 3 kids are all looking out like into the ocean, and your wife and your daughters, they look back at you, and then your son kind of looks back at you, and they just go, Papa? What? Papa, what is that? And you kind of look out to what they're looking at, but it's just sun. You actually can see out in the distance. You see the siren song like kind of sailing by. You hear that thunder crash again, and they kind of stop, and all 4 of them kind of shake their head for a second, and then they just kind of start laughing, and they start running back into the water. and you kind of look back, and Lockhart is still there with this buckethead guy, and Eek's still doing all of his business and everything. And you kind of blink for a second, and you kind of look over at your wife, and she just looks up at you, and her mouth agape, and there's just this blood on her shirt pouring down.
This was such
As
a
you
nice dream.
As you open your eyes, and Eek, you open your eyes too, and Lockhart, you open your eyes. The two of you, Lockhart or Bennett and Eek, you're both looking up. Eek at the ceiling because you're on one of the I was gonna say the top bunk on one of the top hammocks. Bennett looking up at the hammock ahead of you, and Lockhart, you open your eyes and you're facing the ground, like looking down, and you feel like a drip like coming out of your nose. You kind of reach out and there's like blood on your nose.
Oh.
That's Lockhart or that's me?
No, that was Lockhart. He woke up face down on the ground for some
okay.
odd reason.
Just making sure.
Ow.
All right, the start of a new morning. All right, and Eek's gonna jump out of his hammock. Was Lockhart underneath him?
Yeah, actually, I think Lockhart. I think you and Eek are on top of one another, if I remember correctly. Yes, so
Yeah,
Lockhart was. But
yeah.
well, you kind of look down and you don't see him in his hammock, but you see him kind of. You see like him kind of sprawled out on the ground underneath his hammock, just kind of like laying there. You see him like motioning with his hand. Lockhart, do you get up or are you just laying there? Or you gotta stay.
I think he stays for a second because it's in the moment of him waking up, and I can only picture he mumbles down. He's like, "I never want this to end, Mr. Bucket," and then he like wakes up. He's like, "Oh my god," and then he turns to Eek. He's like, "Hey Eek, is my nose broken?" And it's like jagged sideways.
Well, actually, hold on a second. And Eek's gonna just quickly grab it and twist it back into place.
Eek, give me a heal check.
Oh, actually,
Oh boy.
I'm actually able to do that pretty well, I think.
Oh,
Okay,
let's
it's not
hope.
bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, that is an 18.
18, yeah, and it pops it right back into place, and ooh, like breathe better too, Lockhart. Everything smells good.
I-
You actually
I
smell like
have-
breakfast.
I have magic. I could have done that without the. And you just see like tears running down his face for how bad it hurts.
Now you can save it.
I don't
And
know.
each
I
goes
was
off
having
of
a okay, let's not listen to me then. He'll follow behind him.
Did you want to say something, buddy?
Nope.
You sure? It seemed very important to you.
Nope, not anymore. It's just
Okay.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Bennett's gonna slowly get out of his hammock and just kind of. He's a little melancholy because, like, he was really enjoying that dream. It did kind of take a little bit of a turn, but it's a dream, even though I was enjoying it a lot. But yeah, out of my hammock, and I'm gonna follow them to breakfast.
Yeah. The ship is a bustle with everybody else is awake as well too. You guys notice everybody's eating up their food and heading upstairs. And before we actually continue, we've got a whole bunch of other people resubscribing as well too. We got Elite Trooper resubscribing Prime for 2 months in a row for a total of 38 months total. Penguin Witch Doctor resubscribing for also 38 months, and Silent H resubscribing for 39 months in a row. Guys, thank you guys so much. That fam, best fam, absolutely love you guys. Resubscribing because y'all rock our socks off. It is a bustle because you guys know that essentially if you guys continue on with your day today by pretty much morning, almost mid-morning tomorrow, you can make it to Tidewater Rock. Where Fish Guts said would probably be a good place to go. It's not really something that you guys have tried to kind of think, if you've heard tales about it, you haven't gotten a lot of information from it yet, but it is a small island with a castle, a house, something that sits on top of it, and able to see the ship in all directions. It's right almost in the middle of shipping lanes, and the information you were able to pull from it as well too is that Tidewater Rock, it gives them a good lookout all across the sea, and ships that go through these shipping lanes, whoever owns the rock could potentially have an opportunity to take over other ships and stuff and plunder other ships and get more stuff. I mean, you guys are pirates after all. Or maybe to go and strike a deal with the Lady of the Rock as well too. But I guess we'll have to find out. But everybody's in their hustle and bustle. Everybody goes up onto the main deck of the ship. But there's one person that you guys don't see yet or hear from. But one thing that you do hear, Azara, you hear the pitter patter. Mrs. Zara, Mrs. Zara. I wanted to let you
Yes.
know that the captain's not awake yet. He hasn't woken up just yet.
Is he alive or is he just sleeping? Did you check to see?
Well, I
if he's
think so.
breathing?
I looked at it, and his mustache hair was doing this.
Okay, so just old man sleeping in. Got it.
I think so, but I tried to wake him up. I got really scared because I remember that he fell the other day, and then he was also really drunk as well. And then I don't know if fish got slipped anything into his
Okay,
drink, but he said
okay.
that he did, and I
Right.
was just really scared. I'm
Okay,
sorry that I'm
let me
rambling
go
on this.
check up on him. No, it's okay. Let me go check up on him.
Yes, my lady. You walk in, and the captain, he's not inside the hammock, but you notice that the captain is actually laying inside his giant bed in the captain's quarters. He looks very peaceful right now, but he's asleep. Didn't wake up. Barrett even walks over to him as well. Look, and he grabs him and goes, Captain, wake up! And little Pupil, for those of you that don't actually know, that you probably see it from the picture, Pupil is actually Captain. He has a little mouse companion. Actually, like scurries out of like his little chin and kind of walks over and starts kind of batting his nose a little bit.
Pupil,
Captain doesn't wake up.
is he awake? Is he all right?
And you see Pupil kind of run over to you, Lady Azar, and kind of does this with his hands and runs back over and pitter patters him, walks over and like grabs like his eyelid and like tries to pull up his eyelid, and you see like Shice's eye just kind of looking up and lets it go. And then he like reach it, and then you see Pupil like stick his hand up Shice's nose and like pull out a nose hair, and Shice doesn't wake up.
What? I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna start trying to see if I can wake him up.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to wake him up. Nothing. Shake him.
But he's
name?
breathing.
He's breathing. He's breathing. He's not dead. He's asleep. Now, Azar,
Right.
you would know this as well too. Like you remember, same thing happened to Lockhart the other day, and it kind of happens to you guys sporadically sometimes. You guys just go into this like weird sleep, but for whatever reason, it's like hard to understand why. You kind of think back, like, wait, this has happened to us multiple times before, and I mean, maybe it's just happened. Maybe it's just really tired. Maybe all that drinking really did him in yesterday.
All right, Chainland, do me a favor.
Yes,
I
Mrs. Aura.
I want you to watch him, keep guard of his quarters, and as soon
Yes,
as he
ma'am.
wakes up, I want you to send word. All right?
Yes, I can do that, Mrs. Aura. And he walks over and he sits down like in the chair and he just like watches him.
That's a little too creepy. How about like casually watching?
Oh. So then he kind of sits up and kind of looks at you and then kind of peeks out of the corner of his eye. And keeps looking
Okay.
over at him and kind of looking at you and then kind of back to him, looks down and back over to the captain. Like that, my lady.
That's a bit better. Yes, that's fine. Maybe you could also, oh, look at this place. Actually, it's quite messy in here. Maybe you can fold his clothes, or you can tidy up in here a bit for him. I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Yes. Well, as you also know, it's also still a mess too because you guys haven't had a chance to repair the ship. To give you guys a little outline of the captain's quarters, it's actually kind of big. There's a couple pillars in it. There's this nice, beautiful desk that Lockhart saved that he carried all the way down a mountainside off of an island. Very beautiful desk. There's a giant bed in there, but half the wall kind of in the back is missing. Because when they finally took over this ship, Eek and the captain ended up in there, and Eek and the captain are being attacked by multiple people, and bombs were going off. So, I mean, Eek tried his best to try to fix it, but they haven't had a real chance to fix it yet. So, like, when the wind blows, it kind of blows stuff around a lot. Yes, Mrs. Aura. He goes around and starts straightening up some of the papers and stuff on his desk and like moving some chairs around.
Perfect. Just come and get one of us when you, or me especially, when he's awake. All right?
Yes, Lady
Sorry,
Azora.
Punch my
What'd
mic.
you do? Oh, shaking.
Punch my mic. Sorry.
Sure. Now you guys know that you have pretty much a day to do whatever. The ship, the breeze is behind you, blowing in the direction you're meant to go. Let's start actually with Bennett. Bennett, what are you wanting to spend your day doing? I mean, we actually, or I would say we actually see our camera kind of pans over, and we see Bennett kind of sitting towards the helm of the ship. You got a lot of stuff sitting around you, Bennett. What are you working on?
Once I once I ate my breakfast and just kind of walked up on the ship a little bit, just taking in the morning, I'm going to go down to my little work area around where my locker is, and I'm going to pull out some of the materials that I got from the port that we just got kicked out of. Still don't know why.
Not kicked out.
I'm going
chased
to
out of.
chased out of. Everybody knows what happened. We're just getting. They don't want us there anymore. Don't know why, but yeah, we got kicked out. And so I'm gonna pull out my gunsmithing tools, like all that, and I'm going to set to work at making some shots and some powder, like mixing all the charcoal, saltpeter, all that. So I'm gonna be like, that's what I'm going to be working on for the majority of the day.
Well, now I'm curious. Now, Bennett, you took gunsmithing, because
I did.
You've been wanting to work on a gun and stuff. How do you go about actually make? I'm very curious. How does one make bullets and black powder?
Oh, bullets. Well, black powder, the majority of it is, I got charcoal, saltpeter, something else, I can't remember what it was. Whatever that other thing was. I was like, kind of put it
like
together,
that. Yep.
get like a...
Totally works.
Yes.
Yep, wildflowers, perfect.
Get like
wildflowers, totally works.
Pestle and mortar, I guess, and going to be like crushing some stuff up, and like making it as fine as I can, mixing them together, pouring them as precise amounts as I can figure, and just kind of like mixing it all together. And then I'm going to have a little heating unit of some kind. Yeah, it's just like a little thing, and then it's just like going to be like busting up the lead that I got in, and going to be melting that down, casting it in some of the little casting things. I can't remember what they're called. The
casings.
The things you like, you pour the lead in,
yeah.
just like you let it there for a little bit, open it up, and like
Molds?
pop it out. Yeah. Yes.
Molds?
Yes. That's a good word for it.
That's weird.
Molds.
Molds, traders, my goodness, everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, I'm gonna
now
be working on that.
Okay. Yeah, majority of the day. Bennett, give me a crafting check for me. Let's see how well some of these bullets turn out for you.
Well, these are going to be great bullets. 7.
7. Yeah, I would say your first batch, Bennett, doesn't go too well. I mean, Bennett, have you ever crafted bullets before?
No. But how hard can it be?
I mean, obviously for you, your first time, pretty damn hard.
The gunsmithing tools that I got came with a manual, step-by-step instructions, and even links to YouTube channels in order how to do it.
Oh,
you know what? In order to read it properly and understand it, give me a perception check. I wanted to see how well you perceive that manual. See if the links work. See how your Wi-Fi connection is.
So, 11.
Oh no, we're losing you, Brent. What'd you say?
Oh no. 11.
I think you said 11.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
11,
you realize a little bit that the writing is like rather small too, so you kind of have it, and it's scribbled on there, so it's a little hard to tell, and you realize that, like, some of your concoctions and everything. So I'm gonna say your first little batch doesn't quite make it, but give me a second batch as you start kind of into the afternoon. Give me another craft check. See how well this is gonna work out.
I mean, if they didn't turn out that great, I'll just melt them down and make some more again.
Yeah, trying it again.
Oh no!
Wow, it's a 6.
Oh, the 6. Yeah, you burn your finger. It's kind of rough for you for the day, Bennett. But while Bennett's doing that, we pan over to Mr. Lockhart. Lockhart, what are you doing with your day? Where can we find you hanging out?
You will find me in my happy place, the Bilges.
The Bilges, aka, as you look at it, as Lockhart is actually, he works his way downstairs, and right above the Bilges, there's a sign. Like I said, this is rated R, ladies and gentlemen. And what does this sign say as you climb into the Bilges, Lockhart?
It says the Anus Puncher.
Excellent.
And it's beautifully crafted by Callum. and Lockhart is extremely proud of it. Lockhart will wait until he closes the door and it's completely pitch black. Oh shit. Actually, can I look around to make sure there's not spiders or anything?
Yeah, give me a perception check. You have dark vision.
Yes, I do. Ooh, and that was a 16 on the die plus 9. 25.
25. Yeah, looking around, you don't see spiders, but it smells bad in here. It's definitely been a while since anybody's been down here and cleaned it out and stuff. So I mean, it's kind of gross. I'm gonna need you to give me a fortitude save, please, Lockhart.
This feels like an 11.
An 11. Just like you're able to hold it in. You feel like dinner like creeping up and like breakfast as well too. It's like able to choke it back, almost let loose, but you're fine. It smells bad. It no longer smells like dead bodies. There's no dead bodies in here anymore.
Press the digitate lavender everywhere.
Yeah, it smells like lavender. It smells great now. To you.
Awesome. So he's gonna reach into his pocket and he's gonna pull out the deep platinum necklace that he found that everyone seemed to forgot. And he feels drawn to it for something. And I want to cast 2 spells on it. I want to cast Page-Bound Epiphany, which, for those of you who don't know, you magically score the world's libraries for information that might refresh your memory about a topic. Upon casting the spell, the focus fills snippets, sections, and callous. Oh, I don't. Hold on. I'm gonna need a book. Damn it.
Okay, so the first spell doesn't work. What's your second spell that you cast upon it?
Who has a book that I can use? The other one is Identifier's Eye, which basically, like, if it has any magical aura or ability, I can spend a certain amount of time to pick up all information from it.
Yeah. You cast that on it. You don't sense any magic coming from it. But it is really just beautiful in the way that it looks. It's blue and black. It's very silvery, as I said. It's called deep platinum. I'll go ahead because it is kind of known amongst the seas. Go ahead and give me a knowledge local check if you have.
Yes, thank God. I really didn't want to fail that. 22.
22, yeah. You actually know, like, really looking at this, you have heard of deep platinum before. It's not something. It is a very rare material that you can find, and it's characterized by the blue and black like specks, almost as like it's beautiful, but it's almost like disturbing to look at, and it's virtually unknown to a lot of people living above the surface. A lot of people don't have it. A lot of creatures, underwater creatures like the Sahuagin, a lot of other creatures that have cities and stuff underwater, Udines and everything as well too. They would know more about this. But it's actually mined from platinum deposits in the deepest ocean trenches. So it just the years of compressing material together, where it's tainted by the exposure to poisonous deep sea vents called black smokers. Really, only aboliths and krakens and creatures of the deep can recover it from these phantoms. So a creature had to have been able to go down low, and that kind of tells you, like, Sahuagins, they are creatures, but like finding in the deepest trenches, these types of creatures aren't able to get down that low. So this Sahuagin that had this necklace was able to get it from something that went down
from something
deep below.
deeper than itself.
But on the land, it does have the same value as normal platinum, but it is of inestimable value to undersea races such as the Sahuagin. So they don't really see it as it's kind of priceless to them. But on land, you could get it for what you could get as platinum. And you also know that it could be religious or magical qualities of rare metal, but this one does not have any of that. Or you don't sense any magical qualities from it, I should say.
Okay. Yeah, that's I thought it was more special. Darn it. I need a book to figure out more information.
Now, what kind of book?
No.
What kind of book do you need? Just like any book, or like a book that specifically talks
A
about
book without any writing in it, because this will write in the book itself all the information from the world's libraries about the topic that I'm researching.
Oh.
But it only... Wow, that sucks. It only lasts for 36 seconds. So it's me
Agreed. You need like goggles of reading or something, so you could just like flip through like the entire thing and just know all the information from it. Oh. Yeah. So Lockhart, you disappear down into the bilges, trying to see if you can find anything magical about this. But I mean, it's something very rare, and you notice that only one Sawagan was wearing it as well too. But where they got it from, who knows? Creatures of the deep, something else coming from them. As Lockhart, as Bennett is trying to make bullets, Lockhart is trying to figure out about this necklace. Azara, what are you doing on this fine day, Azara? You have a full day. The captain, as you know, right now as well too, is still asleep. He's not woken up yet.
If I'm in here with Chainlin for a little bit, I would be looking at the charts, the sea charts, seeing what else would be useful to go to, where else we could venture off to, what sounds exciting from my memories of overhearing things on different ships.
Yeah. Give me a knowledge local check.
That is not great. 6 plus 11, 17.
17. Yeah, you know that where you're actually heading to, over to Tidewater Rock, it's still, you guys are still quite a ways journey, at least a week's journey to get back up to Port Peril. There is the mainland north of you, perhaps about 2 days sailing north. But there's tons of island chains around as well too, and you actually know that if you were to travel northeast as well, if you travel northeast as well for a couple days, you would actually make it to the shackles themselves. Where you guys have been at, you have been in the island chains, but the shackles themselves is actually kind of like the pirate chain of islands throughout the Fever Sea. But there is one place in particular that you could get to. Tons of island chains. It's where you know a lot of other pirates reside at. Barnabas Harrigan has been there multiple times before as well too, and you yourself, Azara, have visited the shackles as well too. Outside of that, heading back over to the east, you could make your way down to Rickety Squibs, but that also involves, going past Death Isle and past all the islands with the harpies as well too. Adventures that they have been on before, which they did lose somebody in the process of that one. But there's tons of island chains as well, and you've heard other stories that also to the west, the west of where are we going? Tidewater Rock. You heard tales that there is potential of another hidden treasure there as well too. You've only heard tales. Yeah, it is. It's west, maybe about 3 days' journey west, directly of Tidewater Rock.
West of Tidewater. And what's the name of that isle?
The name of that isle, they call it the Blue Mountain.
And do I know anything else about the Blue Mountain?
You know that it's called the Blue Mountain, because of a spell years ago that had actually happened. There was a battle that took place upon that. And it was actually, it's a fairly tall mountain as well, and the spell that was cast by this old wizard made it snow and very icy on top. And once the snow and everything actually melted, it actually stained the entire mountainside blue, like ice, like icy blue.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'll look at the papers on the Blue Mountain, and I'll pocket it for now. The charts about or you know what? I'll take out my book and I'll like a ledger and just start writing down information of what you just said.
Perfect.
And I'll look up to see how Chainlin's doing in the quarters.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I will roll for that. Let's roll for Barrett Chainlin. See how he does at cleaning. Hey, he's really good. That is a 19 on the die. It looks good in here. Like everything looks looks spick and span. He's doing a pretty fantastic job. He actually runs out and he brings you some tea from Fish Guts.
Oh.
I'll say it's an orange rubius. Rubius. Can you say that? Orange rubius? We'll say rubius, unless somebody watching the game knows how to pronounce it more correctly.
If Nessie was here, she would tell us, but Nessie's not here tonight.
Nessie's not here tonight as of right now. Totally fine.
Lovely. Oh, well, thank you.
Of course.
I appreciate that. All right, so thank you, Chainlin. You continue on. I'm going to see how the sail's doing, how the water looks. As you were.
Yes, Lady Azara. And he continues going about trying to just clean up the mess. And you actually see him. He kind of goes over and tries to fix some of the torn hammocks that are up there. Just trying to put them on to make it look like a nicer wall before you guys can actually fashion it and fix the captain's quarters. Right. As our camera kind of pulls out from the captain's quarters, we kind of shoot down the stairs onto the first level, or of the lower deck, and we see Aradia. Aradia, you are with all of the booty essentially, kind of going through all of your stuff. What else are you attending to, Miss Aradia?
I'm going to look for, after I've neatly placed all the like items into its own little corner, ready to be transported to be sold, hopefully for a good price at Tidewater Rock. I'm going to look for a blank piece of parchment and some ink, and I'm going to pen a letter.
Letter, yeah, you can easily. I mean, you have tons of some ink and quills and pen and stuff. Penning a letter. Do you want to? Are you going to tell us what pen said letter says, or is that a secret for another time?
No, I can say it. This is hopefully she can get this sea mailed out once she reaches port over at Tidewater Rock. But she's going to sit down, gather her skirt, and she's going to get comfy. So she's sitting crisscross applesauce, and she's going to write to Chainlin's mom back at Rickety Squib.
Chainlin's mother. Okay.
And she will say, "Is Chainlin's his last name, right? Or is his
his name is it's his last name. His first name is Barrett. Barrett Chainlin.
Barrett Chainlin.
Young Mr.
I will
Barrett.
start. Mrs. Chainlin, Aradia from the Siren song. I just thought that somebody should be responsible and let you know that your son has become a stowaway on our ship. I suppose the mundane life on Rickety Squib and the lack of respect you have for your son and his art drove him to leave home. He has a great talent for learning quickly, adapting on his feet, and he has proven to be worthy to join the crew of Siren's song. I can guarantee you that he is safe and looked after, and is a valued member of now the Siren song. I hope you will take this time to reflect on your relationship with your son. And she's going to think out loud. I don't even think that he's missing. But anyways, and she's going to go back to the letter. She says she will continue to write, "We are headed to Tidewater Rock. If you wish to mail us," well, shoot, I don't know how long we're going to stay there. She's going to scratch it out. Scribble. If we make our way back to Rickety Squib in the future, I will be sure to have Barrett visit your home. If you need to send word, please relate anything any communication with Captain Pegsworthy. Signed, Aradia, and that's all. I'm gonna try to draw a little octopus on the letter. I'm gonna roll it up and tuck it into my belt.
So as you're writing that, Aradia, what were we gonna say?
I was gonna say Chainlin's mom is gonna be the BBEG. You have told her where we're going to be. She was going to hunt us down.
I crossed it out. I didn't write it.
As you're writing
know.
Yes, give me an intimidation check, please.
Okay. God, I have zero.
This is getting
intimidation.
sent.
Come on,
This is
taco
getting
dice.
sent just like that Leonardo DiCaprio letter that Diana wrote.
No.
Natural 18.
Nice.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, it looks. It is some of the best penmanship that you've done. And when you reread that, you're like, man,
On a ship,
Mama
too.
gonna feel on a ship with quill and ink while you're moving
She's
across
writing
the
like
water.
this.
Yeah, apparently it's not very smooth for her. She doesn't have very good sea legs right now. As she's just swaying back and forth trying to write this letter. Yeah, perfect, Miss Aradia. Going through all of your gear and everything. As Aradia is penning this letter, we work our way. For Aradia, we actually went down 2 levels into the lower deck where she's at. We actually start moving our way back up to the lower level, 1 floor up from where Aradia is, and 1 floor down from the main deck, and into his little alchemist lab, where we don't. It doesn't seem like we hear explosions happening, but we see our tiny little hobgoblin doing stuff. And Dustin, how are you wanting to destroy and break my game this time? What are you gonna do?
All right. So after having one little conversation with Lockhart, Eek rushes into the kitchens and just piles on whatever fish, piles on a whole bunch of food, whatever Fish Guts has prepared onto a plate, and like has like something like sticking out of his mouth. And he's like, "Morning, Fish Guts."
Oh, hello,
He
Mr.
just
Eek.
heads-
How are you? Oh, I see that you're off to do whatever it is that you. Yep. All right. Have a good one. And Fish Gut,
he's
you
kind of like
and
shoveling
we kind
into
of
his face as he's going.
we look over Eek's shoulder, and like Eek was like so into what he was doing, he actually took Fish Guts' bowl as he was trying to eat it, and just starts eating it. And Fish Guts is like, that was the last of the breakfast today. I guess I'm gonna have to go and get a drink. As he disappears into his quarters, as Eek walks over to his little area.
And so he goes over into his little alchemist lab, or his table against the wall, and he's like, okay, and he's kind of like eating while he's like putting on his gloves. He starts making up a quick potion. He's going to make a crafter's potion, which
Cool.
gives him a +5 to crafting,
Ooh.
just in case
Can I have one of
anyone
those?
else needs help with crafting. But he just says that out loud. It's for no in particular purpose or reason. And Eek is going to put on the gloves, chug one of his alchemist's potions, put it down on the table. He's like, okay, let's do this. And he's going to proceed to start making a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to be making 7 different things. Well, not 7 different things, 3 different things, but 7 things in total. The first thing I'm going to be making is something called Clear Ear. This one actually is going to be nice and easy. It doesn't require any roll whatsoever, but it's this green little gel. And what it does, it's actually costs 15 gold to make, so I'm going to be making 3 of them. And
Okay.
Clear Ear. I will give everyone a little description of with Eek just making this potion that he's slowly just boiling and breaking down, so it's more, it goes from this kind of liquid, it starts getting thicker and thicker and thicker, and kind of like condenses this one kind of green looking liquid into more of like a gel. And so with this gel, you apply it, and it takes effects 2 hours later. It enhances senses and memory, but increases irritability. For 6 hours, the user gains a +2 alchemy bonus on perception and knowledge checks, and a -2 penalty on all charisma saves. So he's making up 3 different batches, and he puts them into a little bag and like ties it up, and he writes on it, "For Bennett," and he puts that off to the side after making some little pouches for Bennett, because Bennett's perception is horrible. And seeing how he doesn't use, he doesn't really use his charisma very much. So, I think it'll help him be a little bit more aware of his surroundings. And then he just starts going back. And the next thing that he's starting to make is what looks like to be this little wrist cannon that he's able to strap onto his wrist. And what it really is it's more of like a holster. And it has like a leather case. And on the back of it is like this little hole where a string can go through. And
Ridiculous,
as he's
guys.
making this one
I
thing,
know what this is.
he's actually making something called, he's going to be making 3 what are called spider sacks.
Ooh.
This, however,
You keep that
does
away from me.
require, and, well,
Yes.
technically, it has nothing to do with spiders. It's
No,
just,
so.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. As you make your first gel and everything, that's very successful. It's very easy. Yes, for this one, I will need a craft alchemy check from you, please, sir.
Excellent.
As you're starting to
Okay.
create this. Now, as he's making this roll, a spider sack, just to kind of let you guys know, in easy enough terms, think of ridiculous. Think of Spider-Man being able to shoot out like freaking web stuff out of his wrist to be able to attach to shit like a grappling hook. Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah,
that's what he's going for.
pretty much.
So
I could
give me
use
that
it
craft
to help
alchemy check.
climb. A craft alchemy check with
Yes.
the gloves and my potion.
Now remember, those gloves you can use it one. You can use those gloves one time. Did you get a 1 or did you get a 20? If you got a 1, that'd be hysterical.
Do you want to know what my total is?
What's your total?
39.
30. Oh Jesus! Oh my God!
39.
Yeah. So the crafter's gloves, it can essentially like once per day. It just gives him a bonus to craft something. He's already taken his other bonus to give him all his pluses. Alchemists are insane, guys. And he just happens to be one of those as well too.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to craft your spider slingers that you can that will dub them. So he can now fly, and he can be Spider-Man as well too. That's
Wow.
I'm really just gonna have to blow him out
Spider-Eek,
of the sky
Spider-Eek.
one of these times. And then your final thing that you're crafting as of right now, Eek.
The last thing
Go
I'm
ahead
making
and
is something called troll styptic.
Styptic. Like styptic powder.
Septic.
Yeah.
That's it. Septic. That's
Mhm.
it. This one smells really bad.
Oh, so it's septic.
He's having to use different concoctions to make up all of these different to boil them down. So let me bring it up. But it turns into this really dark, almost black looking liquid that's in like a small vial as he's mixing it all up. Now, for this one's a little bit more difficult to be able to make, but this one he's actually slowing down, taking some time. I'm only going to be making one of these.
Good.
So hopefully this one works.
Yes. So basically,
Here
what
we
this
go.
one does while he's making his roll is a troll styptic powder. Essentially, he can apply it to a wound. It negates any bleeding effects, and it gives the person fast healing 2 for a total of 2d4 rounds. But the problem is once it's applied, the person that he applies it to, they're gonna have to make a fortitude save, and if they fail, they're actually sickened for the whole duration of this being
Ugh.
applied to them. So it's good, but it can have a little bit of suckiness to it as well too. And Mr. Eek, what did you get for that?
Here we go. Oh,
Local check.
that is a 27.
27. Ooh, just enough. That one's a little bit more difficult to do as Lockhart grows this horn beard on his chin. Yeah, so Eek, like being very cautious with this one as well too, mixing all your chemicals and everything. And you now have at least 1 vial of this. Was it ogre? No, not ogre.
Troll.
Ogre. Troll
Troll?
styptic grease stuff. Yeah, excellent. As all of you are like basically crafting and figuring all this stuff throughout the day, the lunch bell tolls, and you find that it's more fish stew. Really, you guys didn't have enough time to really get stuff from Isle of Murtok to kind of redo some of your food stocks. So it's mostly fish. That Fish Guts has been fishing out for the whole day as such. But Azara, one thing that you notice is the captain is still passed out, still asleep.
What's going on with him? I'm gonna go into the chambers again.
Yeah, you go in there. He still looks comfortable, and Pupil now is actually like curled up. You see like his little figure like underneath his beard hair, but you can kind of see his tail just kind of whipping back and forth. And you see just kind of like some of his beard hair just moves. Like you notice that Pupil's like sitting there breathing underneath his beard.
Pupil, is he awake?
He pops
Is he
out.
awake yet?
He runs out and he kind of walks over to Captain's nose again and just pop 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 pop.
Oh.
And his head just kind of drops a little bit, and then he kind of scampers back and forth and like pulls on like Scheiss's lip and everything, and then the captain's just not waking up.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over and I go, "Can you give me some room?"
As he scampers up and he sits like on Scheiss's forehead and just kind of looks at you.
All right, here we go. And I just go boo, 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 like this.
And as you do, just a little bit of spittle kind of like comes up and like hits you like in the like on the face
That
a
was
little bit.
unnecessary.
The captain like and as you're doing, he kind of like coughs a little bit and then kind of turns his head to the side and just he doesn't wake up.
I look at Pupil. I'm like, well, he's alive. I guess keep him company. There's nothing else we can do until he wakes up.
And he runs, and Pupil runs over and he like grabs your finger and he kind of like nibbles on it, like doesn't bite it hard, but he kind of like nibbles on it and lets go. And then he walks back over and curls back up in the captain's beard.
Okay, good Pupil. You watch your little your friend. He's not little, your friend. I was
Nice.
like, whoa, okay, all right.
I speak in mouse, ladies and gentlemen. Just
I
letting
see
you know.
that. I'll turn around
Very
and walk
impressive.
out again.
And then you walk back out. Yeah. So the rest of you guys go about like the rest of your day. Like, everybody. Oh, actually, you know what? Here's what I'll do. Let me see. Let's see if anything happens today. Whoop! I dropped my dice. Nope, nothing happens. The wind stays at your back as the day actually continues on into nighttime. Is anybody going to be setting a watch or anything? It's now dark. You guys know that by morning, if you sail through the night, you set a couple watches and everything, you guys will make it to Tidewater Rock sometime in the morning.
Yeah, I can stay up pretty much with my ring the entire night. I just need 2 hours, so. Anyone else want to stay up
Alright.
with me for a bit? All right,
I can
fine. I'll
stay
just
up.
do it myself.
First watch. I can do first watch with Azara.
Perfect.
Nah.
Wow. Teamwork.
All right,
Go
Bennett,
team.
Go,
Sorry.
go get
No, I
your
just-
beauty rest.
Don't everyone else speak up at once. To
I was just a
keep
little
the crew
frustrated with
safe.
my crafting stuff. It's like I'm a little frustrated. I just kind of want to rest up. Even though I got it done, it could have been stuff. So
Give me one more crafting check for me, Bennett. See if you were able to at least get some shot made.
One bullet.
well, I
Hey, wait,
should.
Bennett, did you say that you were having trouble with crafting stuff?
Yes.
Did he
Well,
say that
I
out
mean,
loud?
I mean, he's not next to you though. He like took his stuff and he's like
Okay,
somewhere
just
else.
checking. Just checking.
All right.
A
Okay.
5?
I don't think I should really have to roll because I think in gunsmithing it says you can just take this amount of time to do it. I just
You
rolled a
five.
freaking
can,
one.
but it's your first time doing it.
Mm.
True enough. Yeah.
True enough.
Yeah. So that is a 5. I
Five.
seriously
You
rolled.
get-
It was a 3, a 2, and I just rolled a 1. So
Wow.
You should stop using
Yeah.
those dice.
Yeah, I mean, Bennett,
Just-
you're
We
starting
bought him
you're
the
starting to
dice.
realize like you've been working on this like all day. Your brain is just like becoming mush, but you feel like you're kind of starting to get the hang of how this actually works, making sure that you're putting all the materials together and everything. Perhaps if you try like the next day, it'll come to you a lot better. But at least as of now,
Okay.
today, unfortunately, it's not really a wash of a day, but you learned a lot. Learned how
I'm
not
gonna
to
throw
do
this
it.
out here for everybody. I did a warm up of some of my dice, and today's not looking like a good day. So, just gonna throw that
Uh-oh.
out there,
Uh-oh.
and I'm gonna
Hey,
go to
Corinne!
bed.
Rin Rin Crossing hosting us. Thank you, Corinne.
Yay! Hi,
Rin
Appreciate it,
Corinne.
friend.
Rin.
Excellent. So
Question
ladies, you're
for
taking
Bennett slash Brent. Did you just warm up one set of dice or like all
That
of
was all of them, which is
Oh.
5.
Oh,
them? Sorry, I
Lord.
asked.
Yeah.
Mm,
Sorry.
okay. Now, were you thinking perception check as you rolled them, Brent,
I don't
or
think
sense
so,
motive?
but I I was not thinking sense motive. I
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Tomorrow's
ladies,
gonna be
if
better.
you, yeah, you guys are taking the first watch. Yeah. As like, oh yes, Lockhart.
I would say I can take the last watch, but it's like I have to take the last watch in watches because I have to prep my spells in the morning.
No worries. So essentially, probably going to bed. Bennett going to bed as well too. Eek, are you heading to bed? I mean, you were able to you spent your entire day crafting all this crazy, awesome
I've
stuff.
been all day making stuff, so
Ooh!
I might have even skipped lunch.
Miss
Whoa!
Magitech with a
Tracy!
giant raid. What's up,
Raid
Tracy and
City!
friends?
Hi, Tracy!
Tracy and friends, welcome
Raid.
to Voyage of the Siren Song, our Pathfinder 1
Yes.
East Skull and Shackles with some homebrew craziness thrown inside. Tracy, a member of our DAT fam, bringing in her crazy
Yes.
fans as well too. Welcome everybody. Everybody's about to go to bed, except for Zara and Aradia. So you're about to have some girl time, which is gonna be fun times. Fun times. As
Yay.
the rest of the crew starts heading to bed, the smell of fish soup starts wafting away. Fish Gut starts putting everything away. All of you guys have been working hard, like trying to get ready for this adventure to Tidewater Rock. You guys don't really know the lady of Tidewater Rock or what she's capable of or how this is going to go. The ladies decide to take the first watch. And as you do, as the sun starts to set, I need both of you really quick to give me perception checks.
Can I
Please.
a little guidance myself?
You can totally guidance yourself if you would like
You better guidance yourself because I rolled a 1.
I
to.
guidance
Yeah.
myself.
That's a 12.
Okay, that's
Me.
not bad. Perception 22.
22. As Azar, I'm assuming that you actually take the wheel, just kind of watching.
Yeah.
Aradia, as you're just kind of glancing more as well too. Azar's just kind of making sure she's looking at the entirety of the ship, making sure everything looks fine. You're actually looking off into the sunset, and as you do, a ship suddenly comes into view, sailing across the setting sun. The glaring red light behind it makes the details of the ship difficult to make out because it's pretty far away from you. But the lines of it suggest that it looks like it's a whaler, and it's riding low in the water. And as you're looking, as the last light of day disappears below the horizon, the distant ship also drops from sight in the gloom of the twilight. It disappears from your view.
Were we heading towards in the same direction as the whaler?
Yes, you guys are essentially heading westbound towards Tidewater Rock. You notice this, like farther in the distance than you even noted than Then you guys noticed that ship that you were trailing the day before. But it just kind of disappears. It looks like it was like heading south, but it looked super far away. It wasn't heading towards you. It looked like it was actually heading to the south, and then it just disappears from view.
Did you see that ship, Azara? Across the sun there. Oh, I'm sorry. I know you're trying to navigate. It's gone now. It's okay.
Is it? Do we need to be worried? I mean, do I need to wake up Shortstone? What's going on here?
Well, I don't think so. It looked like they were headed south, and it didn't look like it was headed toward us. If it was on
Alright.
smoking like the last ship, so I think we're okay, but it's a nice reminder to know that we are not, or not a nice reminder, but just a reminder to know that we're not the only ones sailing on
No.
this in this world.
We're not. Just, you keep your eyes out if you see that ship again.
Yeah. Does it make you nervous sometimes when we see other ships on the sea? It makes me nervous.
Sometimes you just don't know if what their intentions are, so yes, of course.
Right.
There
I
are
just
good
every
people
time
out there, Aradia.
I know there are. It's just the way we came together to be a part of this crew. We had to go through and encounter Harrigan. That's something I would not want a repeat of. So I just, whenever I see another ship on the horizon, I get scared that they're going to come for
alright.
us.
It's alright
Yeah,
to be scared.
Well, I look forward to finally, being on land again, going to Tidewater Rock, to hopefully not be chased out. We
I
should
don't
really
understand.
it was Mikhail. He was causing trouble at the tavern.
You think so?
Well, I think I don't know. He looks like the type of that he, party a little too much. He doesn't mean anything bad, but maybe it's too disturbing to the quiet little port that we were just at. I think what if he was dancing on the table, making a ruckus? Maybe he didn't pay for his drink.
I mean, we don't know. We must ask his friends what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think Donnelly is the one we can talk to. We should familiarize ourselves with him now that he is our deck
Tavern?
hand.
I think so.
Yes.
I think the
think-
captain's
well-
awaked.
I don't know. He looks like the type
Captain.
of.
Oh, we got major echo.
Zara, I haven't seen the captain all
Yes.
day. Did you peek your head in?
Oh, I have several times. But he's
And
not
as-
waking up.
And?
As you actually ask that question, Captain, you open your eyes and you see yourself staring up at the ceiling of your quarters. You kind of look around, and it's dark outside. Oh, it's fine. You just like the day passed. You guys fought the ship and everything, but then you hear knocking at your door. Welcome, Philip Rossi. We've missed you. Hello, friend.
Yay!
You hear knocking at your door, Captain. What do you do?
Well, that's very weird. I will go answer it.
As you open the door, you look out and there's nobody there, but there's a lot of mist. There's like this fog that is over the deck of the ship, and it seems eerily creepy. You don't hear anybody. You don't see anybody. You can see maybe about 15 feet out the door. It's fairly dark. You can kind of see almost through the mist a little bit. It seems like a candle a little bit onto the deck. What do you do?
Candlelight on the deck?
Yeah, like through the mist, you can vaguely make out what looks like a candle.
I guess I'll walk towards the candle.
As you do, like the surrounding area, it's maybe about 20 feet, 30 feet into the middle of the deck. As you actually walk towards it, the area around you actually just like clears up. You can see like the bank of fog like encircling you, but within about a 20-foot radius, like right where you're at, it's very clear. There's no mist like actually there. And the candle itself, as you actually get closer, it starts to go from an orangey color. It starts to kind of fade over into like a bluish green color as you get closer. And it kind of casts this ghastly almost look on you and the rest of the ship.
Huh. I guess I'll approach it. Can I tell it's just a candle on the deck?
No, it's just a candle. It's sitting in like one of those little swoopy holders that a candle sits in.
Okay.
And it's just kind of sitting there, like on the deck. You guys like that swoopy holder?
Candle holder.
Yeah, swoopty.
Elabra.
I got it. I'm with you.
Swoopy candle holder.
Can I detect magic on this candle holder? Does it look like I mean, it can't be a normal flame.
No, you detect magic, and you're getting a lot of magic coming off of this candle. Like, it's very difficult to like pinpoint. No, you kind of look around, even in the space that you're at, you don't see anybody else around you.
I'm gonna come closer to the candle and take a really careful look. Now that I know it's magic, I'll see if I can identify what this thing is.
I mean, you get closer to it. It seems just like a regular candle. It's emanating this. I mean, obviously it's emanating light. This really weird looking light. But again, the mist around you with the candlelight, everything is clear directly around you. But about 25 feet out, then you see like the bank of mist all around you, and then it's hard to see through that. But it looks like a regular candle sitting on the deck of the ship in its little swoopty holder.
I will reach forward and touch the swoopty holder.
You grab the swoopty holder. Yeah, you actually grab it, and it's very cold to the touch. It's almost like, you know, if you've ever just grabbed a hunk of ice and just held on to it, like your finger just feels really cold as you hold on to it. It's very and that chill kind of like starts working its way up your arm. Like, you can still move your arm and everything, but you just feel like you're getting cold.
I will sort of hold it up and see if I can look around the ship.
You look around. Everything looks like it's in place. Like nothing's been moved. Just you don't see anybody. You hear like the sails flapping in the wind. But even as you kind of like look up, like even the mist is kind of obscuring your view from the sails itself. But you can hear them. You hear the wind blowing. You don't hear anybody else. You don't see anybody else.
I will go up to the helm, I guess.
Helm. As you do, Captain, I need you really quick to give me a reflex save.
23.
23, yeah. As you like go to step up the steps, you actually hear like a little bit of a crack as you go to take a step, and you see like you kind of look down and move your foot, and then like this massive like splinter is like sticking up out of the wood, and you look down, you realize you didn't put your slippers on. You almost had a massive splinter go through your foot. You're barefoot right now. You're totally fine, totally safe, totally safe. You're fine. You're fine. You're okay. You're okay. Make your way up the stairs, and you notice that there's nobody actually guiding the ship, but you see the wheel itself is moving and rotating. It spins port, it spins starboard, evens itself out. It's almost like somebody's holding on to it, or it's going by itself. There's nobody up there with you.
Weird. I'm gonna go forward and grab a hold of the helm and see if I can tell if it's just a loose tiller being moved by the ocean, or if there's something actually touching it.
Sure. As you grab onto it, like this like flash happens like in front of your eyes, and like you hear everything around you, but everything goes black. The candle is out, and as soon as the candle goes out, everything is in pitch black. There's no moonlight or anything. Everything is quiet. You can feel like the ship underneath you. You can feel yourself holding on to the wheel, and you're holding the swoopty holder of the candle. There's just darkness. And then almost off in the distance a little bit, you hear this crack of thunder.
I'm gonna scan the horizon and see if I can see lightning.
Yeah, you look out, and you actually kind of figure out what direction it's coming from. The port side. You look out, and then just very vaguely you see this lightning bolt in the distance shoot down from the sky and hit the water, and everything just kind of comes into view for a second. You see like the water over the side of the ship. You see another one happen. And just happening far off in the distance. As you're still kind of glancing around, you look back down at the candle, and very slowly the wick starts to light back up into that really crazy bluish green turquoisey color. And as you're staring at it, it's almost like you're now almost like hypnotized by it. You don't want to look away from it. You just feel like you've been just sitting there forever. And then as you're looking at it, this almost like face kind of comes into view. Just this outline of this face.
In the candle?
As it in the candle itself, in the flame, you see just like these cheekbones, and almost this nose structure, and as soon as you almost see the face come into view, the candle goes out and you open your eyes and you're looking up at the top of the captain's quarters. Dark outside. But you hear actually some walking like above you this time.
I will put on my slippers this time. And
putting on your slippers. Forgot to do it in your dream. For sure.
I'll pick up Pupil from wherever he's sitting and put him on my shoulder and say, "Come, Pupil. It's perhaps time for some fresh air. Strange dreams. Well,
you actually do that, and like when you actually sit up, like Pupil, he was actually asleep in your beard. He like pops up and like runs up to you and just like grabs your nose, and then he starts like playing with your beard and everything, and then he reaches down and like starts like nibbling on your lip, and he just reaches up and just like starts rubbing himself like all over your cheek, and then he like digs back down into your beard and everything, and he starts like hopping up and down and like runs back up, and then his tail, it's kind of like a dog, like he's just so excited though, but his little tail, he kind of turns around just like whack, 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 hitting you with like his long tail, and just reaches over again and starts nibbling on you, and he's just so excited. Like it's almost like he's been waiting for you to wake up.
I was asleep for what? 3 hours? Pupil, settle down. It's still dark outside.
And then he kind of grabs your beard hair a little bit, and he hops down on the ground and starts running towards the front door, and he kind of looks at you and starts hopping up and down.
Okay, well, I'll go out onto the deck and probably up to the helm, see what's going on.
Yeah. As you do, you start making your way out. Azar and Aradia, as you're both talking, you hear the captain's door open down below, and you hear some footsteps. But then you kind of go to glance over, and over on the stairs you see this little furry thing making its way up, and Pupil like scurries across and right up your leg, Azar, and he's just sitting there, and he like grabs onto your boot, and he just kind of starts pulling on it.
All right, Pupil. All right. Let's go. There must be something wrong with the captain. Let's go.
Well, as you both like kind of start to leave the helm,
someone steer the ship still.
You actually notice the captain starts making his way up the stairs to you.
Captain, are you all right?
Good evening.
You okay?
Yeah, I've been asleep for what, 3 hours? I'm fine. I'm not that old. I keep having to say I'm not that old.
Captain, you've been asleep all day.
Hmm?
All day. Not old age, old day.
Perhaps that was uncalled for. Yeah. That's very strange. I did have an odd dream. And my nose hurts. And my face. I feel like someone was punching me at some point.
A combination of Pupil and I, perhaps, to try to wake you up. I apologize. I can always heal you up if you need it.
Well, okay. Is something has happened in some way?
No, you've just been asleep for so long. I just wasn't sure what's wrong, but it seems like everyone has a turn taking this long rested sleep that doesn't wake up for hours and hours.
Yes, well, perhaps it bears study.
Perhaps what?
But everything is fine on your watch?
Yes, I mean, Aradia did see a ship, but it doesn't seem to be a threat.
It seems to be a whaler, Captain, and headed south as we're headed west. So I think we're going to be all right.
Well, very well. I did not mean to disturb your
did you need
watch.
some
I just
tea?
thought I would get some air.
Did you need some tea or anything? Can we help you with anything?
Well, I have some things to do. I don't normally get this quiet time, so I guess I will do them.
All right.
Yes.
Well, what
if
do you
don't
like to
need
do
me,
during your downtime, Captain?
study?
We don't really have
Read.
time. We don't usually talk about this. Oh.
Yes. Work on spell work, inscriptions, of course. Sometimes I just sit and think to myself.
If you ever need help with blah, blah, wow, tongue-tied, descriptions, I could always help scribing scrolls for you. If your hands get
Again,
tired.
I did not know that you had skill in that department.
Oh, yes. I don't announce it to the world, but if you ever do need the help, I can help you.
Yes, it's very kind of you, Sarah.
Did you need anything? Did you need something to drink, a tea, before you head over back?
I think... You know what? I'll let everyone sleep. I think this once I can go without the tea. You have a good chat. I will see you in the morning.
All right.
Good night, Captain.
Good night.
Captain, as you head downstairs, back into your captain's quarters and close the door, you're alone. You're awake. You feel super rested, Captain. I mean, you did just sleep for an entire day. And it wasn't even in a hammock either. It was actually in your bed. But yeah, you sit down, Captain. You start looking over your scrolls. And you actually look around your room, and it's very clean. Like, it's incredibly clean. Like, somebody spent the day cleaning this place up. It looks immaculate. Your slippers are all placed nicely at the foot of your bed. Oh my god, I keep wanting to say cots or bunk beds as well too. Holy crap, the sleepy things. Wendy was having a hard time saying it earlier.
Hammocks.
It looks like the hammocks that are currently covering up the holes in the wall are put up there nicely as well too, and it feels very homey and clean right now. Like, there's really no big breeze coming through here right now, Captain, but it feels good. It feels really nice to be in here.
And finally get some work done. This is good.
Well,
I will sit down. Go ahead.
Sure. And when do you start to what are you scribing, Captain? What are you writing on this eve as we get ready to close out for our mid-show break? I want to know what you're copying down, what you're writing down in your books.
I pull out my very old spell book and flip to the back where there are still fresh pages. And then from one of the drawers in my desk, I pull out what is actually a whalebone that has inscribed arcane writings on it. And it is a scroll we found some time ago. And I know a few of the spells on there I have the power to cast, but I don't know them yet. So I will begin meticulously looking at the whalebone and copying down the spells into my book.
And as Captain, we start closing this out, and as you're copying down spells, why don't you go ahead and give us a couple captain's logs, sir? As it kind of starts playing over in your head. I think for our crew of the Dat fam, I forget, did we leave off at day 3? I think we did like 3 days for them. You know what? Let's pop to day number 4 of the captain's log. Day 4.
Right,
let's do 3 days as we get ready to close out for our break. Please. Everybody sit back and enjoy the dulcet tones of Captain Scheiss Heisenberg's voice of his captain's journal.
Day 4. Assigned to clear the bilge of a mystery creature. When we entered the bilge, we were beset upon by rats the size of cats, and I was horribly bitten multiple times before killing my rodent attacker. A stranger, a tiefling huge and blood red, was spotted on the open sea and my companions rescued him, braving the sea and the fauna therein. He participated in a fight with Owl Bear, which I adjudicated. I hope to get my things back tomorrow. Day 5. As a rat catcher, I have recovered my dearest familiar, Pupil. And due to Bennett's charismatic envoys, I have secured my dearest friend's items. Day 6. A storm has been sighted on the horizon, and I am desirous to survey it from the masttop, but sadly my overseers, captors, I should say, have tasked me with repairs near the onboard kitchen, which is nautically termed a galley. I spoke to Azara about perhaps using her position to change our fortunes, since she is the one who is the closest to the officer's victuals. I have also covertly spoken with Eek, who does not possess the required agents to attempt our caper. I have, however, lent my traveling spellbook to Eek for his machinations. A meeting of the minds has brought a plan to overthrow our captors, to be carried out during the storm tomorrow night.
On that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. But stay around. We'll be back in about 9.5 minutes. We'll see you guys soon for more Voyage of the Siren Song. Adam, take it away. Rise you are one true captain. We'll see you guys soon. Remember, they can still hear us.
There are legends of a mighty forge where the greatest tabletop weapons are smithed by expert crafters from the finest of materials. Only the strongest of adventurers may wield such relics. Weapons and armor forged from the strongest metals. Mystic foci for the forces of fate, carved from the finest stones. And unique treasures that cannot be found anywhere else in the realms. But beware, the forces of evil may find dark and powerful relics of their own in the online armory. Arm yourself with these gaming relics and equipment to take your tabletop adventures to exciting new dimensions. Go to NorseFoundry.com now to arm yourself with the finest weapons in the realms.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What's up?
Oh, nothing. It's just someone took the last of the coffee and didn't make any more.
Well, it wasn't me. I don't even drink coffee.
No, I wasn't really blaming you.
Then what?
Well, I was just...
Oh, I get it.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know you were there.
But I'm always there, Matthew. I'm Jesus.
Okay.
Did you not get the memo? The part right here? Thou shalt not take my name in vain?
I actually did not get that.
Maybe we should revisit this part. About lies.
We don't really need to do that. I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
I hope not. You don't hear me running around the office yelling, Matthew, Johnson every time I stub my toe or get a pube caught in my zipper.
What?
Matthew, I'm going to forgive you. It's kind of what I do. But watch yourself, okay?
God damn it.
Yeah. What's up?
Oh, nothing?
Oh my
God damn it.
Stay back on your turn, Dad.
He had his freaking finger out of his...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also like how you went right into Lens. You're like, Lens, wrong.
Yes.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tabletop Treasures. I'm your host, Adam Conn, and recently I received a phone call from Jamie here in Los Angeles asking me to come over and check out something pretty unique. I'm really excited to see what she's got for us today. Let's go check it out.
Hey Jamie, how's it going?
Hi, great!
Adam, pleasure to meet you. So you called me, you told me you had something really cool to show me, is that right?
Yeah, I received these dice from my brother last winter as a gift, and I knew once I saw the quality and craftsmanship that I had to get them evaluated.
Have you asked them how much you paid for these?
No.
Well, you know what, why don't we go inside and take a closer look? Guys, wow, this is pretty awesome. It's a company called Tabletop Loot, and their website, tabletoploot.com, is where you can pick up a whole variety of amazing dice and gaming accessories.
That is fascinating.
Indeed, and you know what else? This company also donates dice to schools and to clubs all across the Americas. They give kids an opportunity to have material so they can play role-playing tabletop games.
Really? That is so sweet.
That's right, and check this out. If you look at the dice, you can see these vibrant, beautiful colors. This right here is called Pink Lemonade. And Tabletop Loot, they have a variety and dozens of different colors that you can choose from, and some are even said to be glow in the dark.
So, what would you say something like this is worth?
Well, depending on the materials that they're made out of and how much love goes into actually molding these dice, you could get a set just like this on the market today for $8 plus shipping.
That is so affordable. I could get each of my characters a set and some for my friends.
That's a fantastic idea. Make sure that you go to tabletoploot.com. Check out all the amazing different varieties of dice and gaming products that they have to offer.
Tabletop Treasures may not be real, but Tabletop Loot definitely is. Get your own set of dice and some for your friends too at tabletoploot.com. And be sure to watch Dragons and Things every Friday night on Twitch.
The games we play are the stories we create.
The fortress doors swing open.
Every story is unique.
And the sound of war drums rises.
Sometimes our stories come to us when we least expect them. We need to be ready no matter where inspiration strikes. And sometimes our stories are told over great distances. No matter where your journey leads you or how your story is told. The games we play are the stories we create. Sirenscape can help make yours epic.
Sirenscape is searchable, fast, and customizable from any device with no need to pre-install any sound. Adding epic atmosphere to your game has never been easier.
What the devil was that? Looks like somebody didn't fix their timer right. I came back up here from getting myself a drink of water and I realized that it was off. Only by a little bit, but it's alright. We're pirates. We can do what we want when we want to do it. I'll make sure that the rest of my crew actually has all gotten back. Yeah, it seems like everybody's back. Maybe. I'm gonna, Adam, click him over, mate. Alright, here we go. Yep. There we are. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the network and Voyage of the Siren Song. Everybody's here. We're all ready for part 2 of our episode this evening. Yes. Did everybody have a good break? Anybody go pee? Anybody get a nice, cool glass of water?
Yes and yes.
Replenish the water.
Excellent.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yes, let's all actually take a nice piratical cheers. Cheers to all of our friends here and the DAT fam. Cheers, me mateys. Love all of you. Thank you all for joining us on this fine Sunday night. A great way for you to go off into the work week. You get to be a pirate with all of us for a little bit. Let us now continue our tale, or our voyage, as I should say. All of you had a pretty easygoing day the day before. Bennett tried to craft some bullets. Not quite successful at it. It was his very first day, but you know what? He tried. Already taking inventory and writing a very, very stern letter to Mr. Barrett Chanlin's mother. Captain, I'm sorry you missed out on that. You would be very proud of her. Lockhart disappearing down into the bilges to try to figure out more about this necklace, and seemed like just more keeping to himself and into his thoughts as well. I mean, you guys kind of have a day off. You have people on the ship working. Lockhart doesn't need to be doing anything. Totally fine. Eek creating tons of concoctions to cause more havoc, maybe to help, maybe to hinder, who actually knows. Azara trying to wake up the captain and steering the ship because he was asleep and the captain slept. But the captain, you woke up and you felt really good about everything as well too. Basically stayed up through the night, and actually once the bell tolls, actually I need a will save from everybody except for Lockhart. Lockhart was taking the final shift. But just to see if everybody else, Captain, you don't have to roll either because you stayed up all night. You're actually fine. Health is good. Spells are good.
18.
18.
Now we get the 18.
Yeah, of course.
Eka, Aradia, and Azara,
20.
what'd you get? Natural 20. Okay. Excellent. Eka and Aradia.
11.
Eka with an 11.
And
Aradia?
19 for Aradia.
Sure. Yeah, all of you guys wake up. You guys kind of glance over it. Eek kind of has like 1 foot hanging like off the side, like of his hammock and everything. And you kind of walk by and you kind of just catch like sweaty, smelly feet. I mean, I don't even know when the last time was that you guys actually took a bath or cleaned yourselves. So that's all up to you. That's all your character development. But yeah, you got some foot funk going on a little bit. But you guys notice that Eek is still asleep.
I'm gonna look at Aradia. Shall we?
One more time. I will.
Bennett, you're actually like sitting there and you see the ladies like walk over to Eek's his hammock.
I'm gonna help.
No prehensile hair this time.
Well, you don't need to. Well, you might need to. Well, I mean, he's not that much higher, but you're gonna have to reach on your tippy toes. You're not super short, Aradia, but you do have to reach up a little bit. Whereas Bennett and Azara, you both got the strength. You guys just flip him over, and Eek just Eek, give me another will save really quick as you fall face first into the empty hammock below you.
Empty hammock below me. Okay.
Empty hammock below you because you sleep above Lockhart,
shit.
and Lockhart was taking the last ship of the night.
Not much better.
Oh no.
That's actually worse. 9.
Yay!
9. Yeah. You guys see Eek and he just goes boom. And actually, as he's like falling, he like kind of turns with his blanket, and as he falls, he kind of flips and lands on his back in Lockhart's hammock and looks incredibly comfortable.
Huh.
Doesn't wake up.
You ever see that? That's that one where the dog goes into its kennel but grabs the blanket and pulls the blanket in and kind of just curls up.
Covers itself up. Yeah, that's exactly kind of what Eek did.
Just kind of curls up with it.
He can still sleep, laying inside now Lockhart's hammock.
Bennett's just gonna stare at that, just shake his head, Okay, that was impressive. I'm gonna walk off.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I guess the powers let that be probably wants him to sleep in a little bit longer. I'm gonna go get some breakfast.
Zara,
Me
you gonna
too.
continue trying to flip, or are you going? Oh, breakfast as well. Very
No,
good.
we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, you wake up to like the smell of. Ooh, let me actually see. Fish guts, how you doing today? You guys are catching this nice wafting smell of like boiled eggs and pork, and also some rum in the air as well too. As you guys kind of go to get your breakfast, you see Fish guts kind of like start, and he's just like gradually pouring like rum into like the boiled pork and everything. Good morning, everybody. Hello. I had a great night last night. Dinner was fantastic. I have been drinking a little bit, but you're all gonna love this. It's boiled rum pork boiled, but I don't remember what it was. There's things I tossed inside, and look, an egg. I have an egg too. And he puts like a whole egg in his mouth and just like chomps down on it, like shell and all, and like the shell's just falling out of his mouth.
Oh.
He goes, but it tastes really good. It tastes really, really good. I rolled a 16.
I bet it tastes better
so-
without the shell. Oh.
Oh, you know what? You're right. And he reached out and he just like pulling like shell out of his mouth. The egg itself is cooked and everything, but then there's just like saliva attached to it as well. He's like, no, go ahead, eat up. Oh, good. Oh, good. As everybody's
Thank
getting
you,
their
Fish
breakfast. Welcome, Arcadia.
It's a. That's fine.
I don't know, it's the other way, but I called you that name this morning. This morning, I called it this morning. As he just kind of like gets drunkenly, like kind of starts dancing.
I'm gonna look
You're gonna
at
what,
the
Bennett?
what hopefully looks like the thing that he made 1st, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna go for that. So hopefully he wasn't as drunk whenever he made that.
Well, I mean, you guys do know that like even when he's drunk, his food tastes really good. He's just a lot
Okay.
drunker today. Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
mean, it
keep-
tastes great.
Keep an eye out for
Yeah.
eggshells.
Yeah. You notice like Bennett, you grab some stuff and you notice an eggshell. That's actually Diana's favorite, right next to Olive's as well too. She loves eggshell in her food.
I will throw up.
Lockhart, you're standing up on the deck of the ship sailing. Give me a professional sailor check, please. Super easy. Wind still at your back. It was your third shift. Went without a hitch. Didn't see anything.
19.
19, yeah, Butamus day. Captain, you've been down in your quarters, just
Butamus?
kind of thinking to yourself and copying spells as well too. Barrett walks in. Good morning, Captain. I'm glad that you're awake and you feel all right. You were sleeping all day, Captain. Are you okay? And he like runs up to you. He's like, "Are you all right, Captain? Did you sleep at all last night?" And he's just like muttering on, and he's just like very flustered. I just want to make sure that you're all right, Captain, and you're okay. Would you like your tea, or do you want me to go get you breakfast as well too?
Mr.
Can I get you anything,
Chamberlain!
Captain? Yeah, sorry, Captain.
Please calm yourself. It's very early in the morning to be so loud and so chattery. Okay?
My apologies, Captain.
Yes, some tea would be good. Also, Mr. Chamberlain, have you given any thought, apart from stowing away on a vessel of ill repute and one that does not have a place for small children, as to what your future might hold?
Not much, Captain. I mean, watching all of you, I'm not big enough to be like strong like Bennett or Zara or Mr. Lockhart, and I can't make my hair grow like Mr. Radia, and I don't think I'm quite on the level of Mr. Eek. And the brothers they flip around all the time, and they're constantly up in the masts, and Di and Kitty and everyone else has their jobs, and I'm always very interested in watching you though. And one thing that you do is, and I'm sorry, Captain, but I kind of looked in. Yes, I do. I looked while you were asleep, Captain. I looked at your spell book. I'm sorry, Captain. I was just very curious, and I was looking over your spells and everything. I thought it was very interesting, and I do woodworking and everything, but I don't know how that can really be helpful as a pirate, but And I know that Mr. Lockhart casts spells, and Aradia sings, and Eek can make make potions, and Aradia can do magic, and Mr. Bennett is, well, he's strong. I don't think he really needs magic to be strong because he's already strong enough. But I was very interested in I guess, magic, Captain. And maybe since everybody else can, and maybe I could start learning too.
Well, that is very interesting. It just so happens that I have some facility with tutoring young children in the ways of the arcane. It's something to consider, though. It is not a easy pass or a quick one. Perhaps it is better if you stick to playing with your wood. I don't know. That is a choice you have to make for yourself.
I mean, I can still do that, but I'm willing to learn, Captain. I think I do really good. I cleaned up your room, and I run messages, and I get you tea, and I'd be more than willing to learn. And if that's going to help me, if magic's going to help me, I would love to learn some magic, Captain. If you'd be able to teach me. I mean, you're very old, older and wise than anyone else on the ship. I know you said you're 76, 75. Sorry, Captain.
I'm 73, Mr. Chamberlain.
73, sorry, Captain. 73.
That's right.
73, yes.
We will start this evening. But the most important thing that I wish you to know is that you have one mouse and 2 ears, so that you use your ears twice as much as we use your mouse, okay?
So more listening, less talking.
That's right.
Right, Captain.
Good.
And he just kind of leans in at you a little bit.
Tea, Mr. Chamberlain, tea.
Oh, yeah, yes, Captain. Yes, Captain. Sorry. Lockhart, as you're standing up sailing, you see Barrett run out of the captain's quarters. Scurries down the steps. You see, like, the brothers start making their way up. Everybody's just kind of going about their business, moving stuff around, making sure that the sails and everything. You see Shortstone crawl up into the crow's nest. Going about their business. Everybody, ladies and Bennett, you guys are having some breakfast. Eek! Give me another will save, if you will, please. Eek. You might be muted, Eek.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, you're not muted.
Let's use this one. This is going to be my wake-up roll. No, it's not. That is a 10.
10. After breakfast, Azara, Radia, and Bennett, you guys like start walking by, and Eek is still just like laying there, like in bed, still asleep. Super comfortable.
Flip again?
Yeah, maybe he landed too comfortably the first time. I'll put my hands on one side of the hammock.
Bennett?
This time I'm gonna stand up against the wall and just like finish, like I'm like picking my teeth from whatever I was eating from breakfast, and I'm just gonna watch this time.
Well, ladies,
Okay,
ladies, yeah.
On 3.
2,
guidance.
and
1,
3.
2, 3.
Wait, 1, 2, 3. Guidance. You like go to do that, and like Azar goes to flip, and then Eek just kind of like sways in the hammock a little bit because Raida's like, guidance. Blah. Eek, give me a will save really quick.
Oh my god.
They don't let him to sleep.
The worst one yet.
All right, perfect.
that
Yeah.
is an 8.
And all right, guidance as he's swinging. You guys grab him and you flip, and
21.
boom! Eek, give me one more will save. It's gonna be a lot easier since they've been trying on you.
Okay, let's try this one. Oh my god. 5, 6, 7.
A 7.
How does it feel?
So
Well,
you see Eek
like,
just goes
waking up.
and just like lands like on his side, and he's just snoring away. He's just laying on, but he's still wrapped up in his blankie.
Oh, we've tried.
Maybe if we take away the blanket, it's too comfortable. I'm gonna try to yank the blanket out of his grasp.
Out of his grasp. Eek, you had such a firm grip on that
Guidance.
blanket. I need a guidance on a rating. Guidance to pull the blanket.
Go on myself.
Yeah, you pull the blankie and Eek, like, you don't even need a roll on this one because you had just this firm grip. You were like nestled like a little nesting doll with this blanket wrapped around you. And just, as it pulls, it kind of like sits you up, and you like wake up as you're like being pulled upwards, and you're looking like at Azara and Aradia as they're like holding your blankie. You just kind of look at them, look up, you realize you're sitting on the ground. You just look at their faces.
Wakey,
You're awake.
wakey.
How long have I been
morning.
asleep?
Too
Forever.
long?
It's been a day.
I think you missed breakfast.
Just like the captain? Have I been? But I was having such nice dreams. You know, I was.
Yes.
Am I good? Oh my goodness! There's got to be something going around or something. Maybe it's the food that Fish Guts makes us. Maybe it's we should get to the bottom of this. There's a conspiracy here. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
I
gonna
think
hop
you're
up.
just exhausting yourself with these theories.
But sometimes you find out that they're right. So I think we gotta find out what's going on here and what is making everyone fun. Because it happened to Lockhart, it happened to the captain, and now it's gonna happen. Now it happened to me. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, there has to be some kind of dark magic going on around here that makes us sleep.
You let me know how that turns out, and I'm gonna go up to the upper deck to Lockhart.
And Eek, you just smell from the galley eggs and boiled meat for breakfast.
Ooh, bacon!
I didn't say bacon. Where'd you get bacon from? You don't get no bacon today. Bacon's gone.
I think. Oh, all the bacon's gone.
Well,
and yeah, Fish Guts.
Fish Guts.
Well, yeah, Mystique. What does she want?
What's for breakfast, my good sir?
Eggs with some shells on them and boiled meat.
I'll take the boiled meat.
Okie dokie. They hand you a plate of just like all this boiled meat on it. Looks delicious, absolutely yummy. Lockhart, you see Barrett running back, and actually, Eek, as you're sitting there, you see Barrett run over, and like as you see, like as actually those of you that are coming downstairs, Bennett, you see Barrett run down the stairs, passes Aradia and Azara, passes Eek, and it's almost like clockwork. You see Eek as you're eating the meat, like you look back, you see Barrett, and you look back at Fish Guts, and Fish Guts already has like Captain's tray, like holding for him. Barrett grabs it, runs back upstairs. As all this commotion and people getting ready for the day, Lockhart up on the deck, you hear something in the distance. You hear this like, and then you hear the squeak of your chair as you lean forward.
What haunted door is this?
I told you there's some dark magic going on here.
Now you hear the sound, and everybody just kind of stops for a minute, and they kind of look, because really the only officer on deck right now. Everybody kind of looks over to you, Lockhart. Nobody else has quite made it up the stairs just yet. And Shortstone kind of looks down. He goes, "Hey, Mr. Lockhart, I don't see anything, but we all heard that, right?"
Yeah, keep your eye out. Everyone at battle stations.
He says battle stations as Bennett, you're walking up the stairs, and Barrett comes running in the room. Captain, he goes, "Captain, there was a noise outside, and Mr. Lockhart just said everybody battle stations."
Well, let's not disappoint him. Oh, thank you. All right. I will stride up onto the deck, grabbing my staff and with my tea, and walk swiftly up to Lockhart.
Lockhart, who has his hand raised? Yes, Lockhart.
Can I do a perception check of where I might have heard that? Is it a foggy day? Like, what is our
No, it's
view?
not foggy.
Is it clear?
It's a clear day. I mean, you hear this sound. I mean, it sounds distant, but because it's like the water's fairly calm, but there's a nice breeze. It's blowing you in the direction you want to go. But you, give me a perception check.
Okay. Mm, 19.
19. Yeah, you actually can tell. Like it's almost it feels very faint because as you kind of listen, it's actually coming against the wind. It's coming from the direction that you were heading. And after a few minutes, like
Oh.
everybody starts scrambling, and Bennett, you make it up onto the deck, and everybody's just like running around like crazy. It looks like everybody's getting ready for battle. What do you do, Bennett?
I'm gonna look around a little bit more, get a bead on Lockhart, and kind of head to him. I'm gonna pull out just one dagger, and I'm gonna attack him with it. No, I'm not gonna do that.
You attack him. Give me an attack roll. He doesn't have his chainmail crop top, so you might be able to hit him.
He doesn't. Yeah, I should be able to hit him. Yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm gonna walk up. Just what's the commotion about? What are we looking at?
Well,
And
it
I'm gonna
sounded
look
like
around.
battle horn.
What do I see?
Okay. Yes. No. Okay, Bennett. Yeah.
Nothing. You can't even roll, Bennett.
Nothing. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Now, Bennett. We all heard horns on the top deck, and at least knowing from my ship, those are raiding horns. So I just want everyone to be prepared.
Okay. I'm gonna all right. I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna go down to the side of the ship and kind of keep my eyes out.
Captain, it's at that time you're making your way out. You're making up top. You see Bennett and Lockhart talking. Ladies and E, can assume you guys are heading up. You guys hear like the commotion. Everybody's like, it looks like everybody's getting ready to fight. Like, Owlbear's going over loading the ballista. You see the brothers are like, they're pulling out their weapons. They're like running up into the mast and everything. And it seems like everybody's ready for something to go down.
What's going on?
Mr. Raven, report.
Is it that whaler?
We I believe we heard battle horns coming in the direction that we're heading currently. I would like everyone to be prepared instead of being jumped when we potentially come across a ship.
All right. Where do you want all of us, the rest of us, Captain? It's our radio. Yeah, me and radio.
In your battle stations.
Miss,
I suppose.
Lady Azara, you hear shouting from above. Lady Azara, you should probably come up here and look at this.
All right. And I start climbing up.
I will follow.
I don't need a climb check. Totally. You guys have been on the ship enough times. You're totally fine. You get up there.
Someone has a telescope, right?
I do.
Yeah, the one nice telescope you guys had put it on the on the thing. And a radio. As you climb up there, you look into the distance. You don't see a ship, but what you see far in the distance, you see what looks like a tower. As you're glancing at it, it looks like it's rising from a solid block of sea at the edge of an island. You see this pounding surf rolls around its base and partially like covers up like the sides of this island as it's kind of crushing to and fro. As you start glancing a little bit more, because you're actually give me a perception check. Let me see how much you can actually see from this distance.
Aradia or Azara? Because you said Aradia.
Azara. I meant Azara.
11 plus 11. 22.
Yeah, you can make out what looks like this island far off in the distance, and it looks just like all the shale beaches as well with this tower. It looks like maybe about a 70, 80-foot tower from this distance. You kind of glance around. You don't see any other ships, but probably safe to say that this is probably your destination. And as you're standing up there, you hear the kind of coming across the water straight towards your ship. And from what you can tell, it sounds like it's coming from that island and that tower.
The tower is creating some sort of alarm towards our ship, Captain.
Oh, it's a tower, not a ship at all.
Oh, that might be a warning that there's like reefs or something. We don't want to like crash our ship. Maybe we should stop.
Okay, perhaps we should maneuver somewhere differently, maybe to the south or to the north.
All right, Chef Crew. I believe he has been here before.
Yes, Captain. What's going on, Captain?
Oh, that's
Is there a
great.
dangerous
Can I
approach to this island? This man is drunk. He's drunk.
Let me try.
Captain, we were going to Tidewater Rock, right? Do you see a big tower, Captain?
Yes. I think
island
so.
itself. Okay, that is the tower of Tidewater Rock. Is that what the big poo noise was?
That's what we're saying. Is it a warning of some kind?
As much as I might know, it might be a warning to approach carefully. I think, Captain, as long as we don't look like we want to fight them or go into battle with them, I think we'll be okay. So nobody should have their weapons. Nobody should be manning the ballista, and we don't want to look like we're a threat. And it'd probably be good if we have somebody waving them down to let them know that we're okay.
Thank you, Chef
egg
Crew.
on my Sorry, Captain. Well, if you couldn't tell, my face is red.
Your face is always red, Mr. Raven, and I do not believe that we have had eggs on the ship for some time, so I would not hold your hopes out. Let's stand down from battle stations, everyone. Look smart. Perhaps brush up your outfits. Mr. Eek.
Yes, yeah.
What is the range on your flight?
They can last about 6 minutes for about. Then they have to recharge for about a day. I can go about 60 feet every 6 seconds or so.
You could go 600 feet a minute.
So that's about 600 feet a minute.
So this is too far to herald our arrival, I expect.
I don't know. I'm going to look and see how far it is.
You can't see it from where you're at. Azara can see it. I mean, it's pretty far away, but I mean, with her perception and everything, she could make out some of the details and stuff. I mean, it's going to take maybe about an hour to get up to it. It's far. Maybe not even that far, because you guys also notice that the wind is, again, behind your back and really pushing you, so you might actually make it in less time.
Well, in that case, let's just look smartly now. Let's stand down, put away weapons, perhaps unload the ballista. Lockhart,
okay, Captain.
Put on a shirt or something.
Oh yeah, we don't want him to accidentally poke someone's eyes out.
I get it, because of his nipples. I understand.
Yeah, that was a joke, Captain. Since he's tall.
You see Lockhart slowly cover his nipples, and he's like, "All right, I have my good shirt. Okay,
As
Captain,
everybody
do we
stands
need a
down.
Flag? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I believe Radio was working on a flag.
Yes, Captain. It's just it's kind of a mock-up, and if we like the final color, then I can get one, maybe a better one, a larger one made while we're at port. But we can put the temporary one up.
Yes, that sounds like a smart idea.
Didn't Fishgut say something about waving a flag?
Yes, I believe
that was me. Sorry, ladies. Sorry. Yes, Fishgut said something about waving a flag. I said it because I'm Fishguts. I said that.
What color flag do you want?
I don't know. What color flag do we have? I don't make flags. I make yummy breakfasts and lunches.
Well, what's a friendly color to fly?
I don't know. What color flag have you been working on?
Like a burgundy?
Sure, as long as we don't shoot them, maybe they won't think we're trying to murder them. That's fine.
What is I'm gonna think back to everything I know about coming into a port. What is the proper protocol?
Well, proper protocol for regular port, I mean, you can sail right up into it, but with Tidewater Rock, it can be a little bit trickier. Again, it's being held by a lady. I forgot her name. By the lady of the rock. Her name. Agasta Smithy. She is currently the lady of the rock. But you know that some information that it has changed ownership over the years. But you know that a lot of times it has a great view of the ocean. This tower sits incredibly high. It's about a 70-foot tall tower, and the cliffside that it sits on is maybe about 100 feet. So it's almost 200 feet in the air. Can see all directions around it. It could just be its call of them, warning that somebody's on their way and just telling you guys to be safe with it. Yes, James Chu.
Imagine if her name really was.
That's her middle name, Agasta Smithy.
We have to address her every time.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I think we will be careful, Aradia. And how about a white flag over the Siren Song's flag?
All right, I can arrange something, and with that, I'll probably turn around and head down to 2 decks, lower deck, and look for a white flag.
Yeah. Able to grab it. You hoist it up. As you hoist it, Aradia, what does our flag for the Siren Song look like?
Well, seeing that it is just white. Oh, our actual flag.
The actual flag, yes. We are, as we say, hoisting the colors, ladies and gentlemen. For one of the first times of the Siren Song right here on the DAT Network. What does it look like?
Let me bring up our old notes because it's been so long. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's not where I left it. Oh, wait, here it is. Okay. It is, I found it. It is a burgundy color with a kraken kind of outlined in gold in the background faintly to go with Captain Scheiss's first name that no one knows about, so it's a little nod to that, and it's kind of got its tentacles around an anchor. And then off to the lower bottom, it's a not bestly drawn because this is a mock-up, but an ink outline of a mermaid to stand for the Siren Song.
As you're hoisting that, everybody else is getting in position. You actually notice Aradia, are you not Aradia, Azar, are you staying up in the crow's nest, keeping an eye out?
Yeah, I'll stay up there. Yes.
Sure. Give me another perception check as you guys start getting closer.
Don't lose my die. 17 plus 11, 28.
17 plus 11. Sure. Once you start getting closer, it takes you guys roughly about 40 minutes to get close to this island. You actually notice 2 giant ballistas sitting on 2 of the corners facing out towards you all. And you see what looks like about 5 guards sitting up top. 2 people manning the ballistas. They're all standing there like at attention. They don't look like they're ready to attack or anything. You guys haven't made any aggression towards them. But then you also notice, because you guys are heading west into the island, you kind of notice around to the south side, to the left part of the tower, it looks like there's a little channel that goes into a small cove that you could go into. And once you guys start getting closer, you notice that one of these bannermen picks up a flag and starts waving what looks like this blue flag with this tower on it. And he starts waving it to you, and he starts like waving it almost to this cove, almost like directing you where to go.
All right, then.
Captain!
Let's shorten sail.
Okay, never mind. You saw it.
Yeah. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, you relay it down. Who is actually steering the ship right now? Lockhart, are you still sailing? Or Captain, did you take over? Okay. Lockhart is still sailing. Yeah, easy enough. You guys start getting closer, and yeah, it looks like once you get super close to this thing, this tower it's got like these arrow slits on the side of it. Like I said, there's those 2 giant ballistas sitting on top as well. You also notice there's shuttered windows that are on the side, and a roof made out of what looks like metal shingles rises from the battlements where the sentries are keeping a lookout and the siege weapons are sitting there. As you go down into this little cove, you kind of notice it seems almost barren. I mean, this island's not super big, but you can kind of see it's maybe about a mile long, maybe about a mile wide as well, too, outside of this little cove. As you kind of start pulling up to the cove, you notice like there's some trees. I almost think of the islands that Greyjoy, the islands that the Greyjoys lived in Game of Thrones. Very like desolated, almost like it looks like this thing would be very hard to try to knock down or to try to take. But there is like this tiny little beach on there, and then you notice that there's like almost a shale path that leads up to this giant wooden oaken door to the tower. As you all kind of pull into this cove, you see these sentries standing upon the beach, and you see this gentleman, this older-looking gentleman with this wispy mustache, his hair slicked back, wearing this beautiful, like black and golden armor, this giant sword upon his hip. He's standing there amongst the guards and everything as you all pull into this cove, and he holds up in his hand. He goes, "Yes, please, state your name and your business of coming to Tidewater Rock."
I am Captain Scheiss Heisenberg of the Siren Song. We come to make trade with the Lady of the Rock and to meet her eminence.
Good job, Captain. Good job.
He looks over at a gentleman standing next to him who kind of pulls out what looks like some papers and looks through and kind of shakes his head, and he's like, "I do not believe that we had a meeting set for you, Captain Scheiss Heisenberg of the pirate Siren Song ship. You said you are here for a trade, yes?"
We are here to sell our wares and take on new supplies. If the lady would stoop so low as to speak with me, I would be honored, but it is by no means necessary.
I shall speak with her in just a moment, Captain. He looks over at the gentleman next to him, and the gentleman puts his papers away and starts running up these slate stairs. And a few minutes later, as he exits, you see this very tall, very voluptuous blonde woman walking down this long purple dress that she's wearing. She's got this like purple choker around her neck, and on her side she's got this long, beautifully bejeweled rapier like on her side. And she kind of like saunters down the steps a little bit and up onto the beach. And she goes, "So, you're the captain that my master-at-arms was telling me about, yes? And you say that you're here for a trade?"
We are here to sell what we have found in our voyages upon the sea and to resupply our ship.
Well, we don't typically just let people in, but I would be willing to speak with you under certain conditions, Captain, and they must be met or you shall be turned away from the rock. Are we in agreement?
I am all ears, your ladyship.
Good. She looks over at the gentleman that was speaking to you before, and she turns and starts heading back up into the giant tower. The gentleman looks at you. "All right, Captain, here's what we need from you. We need you to send one of your lieutenants, generals, one of your main proprietors upon that ship as a hostage. We are going to hold on to them. We shall treat them with respect. We shall give them food and water. But in order to know that you mean well, we need to have a hostage taken into the depths of the rock." That's
Captain,
is
I
the way that
volunteer
you are going to
McHale.
speak with her.
No, I will.
Of course, as a measure of and bond of our word, I will of course send a member, one of my officers aboard, to be entertained, so to speak.
Thank you, Captain. As he stands and crosses his arms, waiting.
Okay.
What are you guys gonna say?
Has the song already like pulled up to the dock, or they want to like row them out? Or
There's
something?
there's really no dock. As you guys kind of look around now in this cove, it looks just like a cove that's
just a
like
cove
a
that
half moon shape. Yeah, and essentially
we just anchor in
there's
it.
really no dock. Yeah, you could definitely anchor in it. You kind of look around, and the way that the rock formation is, it looks like it's deep enough to where you could drop anchor here. You don't have to worry about actually going up on a ship, but you could technically get on one of your little dinghies and sail right up onto the beach itself. There's really no port for you to pull up to.
Okay. Drop anchor and prepare Lavinia's dream to take those going ashore. Volunteers to.
I believe
right,
Lockhart wants to see her voluptuous boob. So why
No,
don't you
no,
go,
hold on. Pause.
Lockhart, we're here for business.
So hold on. I was going to volunteer myself, and then when this genius person over here, and he points to you, Radio, mentioned Mikhail, and how we can not have to deal with him for a few days, I think we should vote him.
Yes, but we need someone who's smart and can talk eloquently.
Oh.
And not.
And he's not exactly an officer, I don't think.
No, he's not.
Well,
it is certainly a good idea, but if we send Mikhail, we're like as not to start a war. No offense.
Exactly.
Yes, I retract my suggestion. No Mikhail for this mission.
All right. I mean, if I have to go, and it's up to the group to really have.
Eek, are you?
Yes,
are
Eek,
you
yes.
also raising your hand to go?
No. I got a great idea. Whoever goes, take the helmet with you.
What
I was
helmet?
going to suggest,
The helmet, the teleportation helmet that we have.
I was going to
Here.
suggest we keep the helmet on the ship so we can transport over there if there's trouble.
We can
Well, I was saying,
secretly
if they take
infiltrate.
it with them,
Are you all
hostage,
going to
if something
stand
goes wrong,
and
they can just get
chatter all morning long, or are you finally going
Yeah,
to pick
sorry.
somebody? The Lady of the Rock
Nope.
does not have all day.
Yep. Sorry.
Captain,
Captain,
pick
if we
your
send
person.
Lockhart, if just anybody who won't start a war and get us kicked off yet another port.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
understand
is
what you're
true.
saying.
Sandara?
Azara?
Sandara?
Sandara.
I believe the
probably-
captain said Azara.
Yes.
No,
I
I
think
was saying
Azara.
Sandara. Sorry.
Oh no, I understand.
All right,
Lockhart,
I'm
but I
going.
think
Let's
Azara
go.
is the
And
correct choice.
I take the helmet and I give it to Eek. And I just kind of give him a look like, if you need it, use it. And I'll, yeah.
I'll start
I guess I
preparing
would leave-
Lavinia's dream.
Yeah.
Yes,
We
you
have
just
a
got
raid!
Another raid! Q times!
Yes!
Welcome, Q times! Thanks for hopping into our pirate adventure of Voyage of the Siren Song. Our crew just arrived at Tidewater Rock, and they have to pick somebody to actually go be a hostage if they want to talk to the Lady of the Rock. And it seems like our first mate Azara is taking gonna be the one that does the thing. So Azara, is it you that is actually going? Thank you guys so much for coming in. I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I'll go.
Mhm.
Did he say to leave weapons behind or anything, or no?
I don't think he said anything
I
about
don't
that.
think so. He didn't.
No, he just
Okay.
said that they need somebody basically to be the hostage as well.
Okay. I will go and I'll hand my spyglass to Aradia.
Who is
Let's take-
going with you to row you over?
Isn't it
Uh,
Captain? The captain?
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can go
You
with her.
guys tell me who's going with her.
I'll go and we'll take Owlbear and Bennett.
Oh, I see. You're saying to
Um,
row us over there. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to row yourself and just leave Lavinia's dream sitting there.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay,
that's a
yeah.
good point. Sorry,
You guys-
sorry.
Yeah, you guys hop in, and the gentleman stands there, and he goes, "So, which of you is going to be our prisoner for the time being?"
This is Azara, the first mate of the Siren Song. Please treat her with
Pleasure
care
to
and
meet you.
respect that she deserves.
But of course, Miss Azara, if you would please kindly come this direction. The rest of you, I need you all to row back to your ship and wait until we have her inside, and then we will come get you when we are set up and allowing you to come inside to talk to the Lady of the Rock as well. I do give you my word that she will not be harmed.
I
Very
stick my
well.
arm
We will
out
take you as such.
to shake.
And he walks up and shakes her hand as well too, and says, "My lady, I promise you, no harm is going to come to you while you are a hostage.
Thank you.
You have my word as the sergeant at arms. By the way, my name is Royster McClay."
Royster McClay. Thank you, Royster McClay.
Yes. As you guys start rowing back, Azara, you are escorted up to the front, up the slate steps as they open the giant wooden doors. And you step into kind of like a stone room. There's like some tables. There's some candles lit as well too. It's kind of dark in here a little bit. There's really no windows, and you guys also notice that too. There's more like arrow slits and stuff, not very big windows. I mean, this is a fortified tower essentially. As you walk inside, they close the door behind you, Azara, and Royce looks at you and says, "My lady, any weapons that you have, any jewelry, I need you to please place them upon the table. You will get them back later, but I cannot allow you to have any weapons of any sort. We're not going to strip you down, do not worry, but you cannot have anything that could come to harm. You cannot have anything that would harm anybody here. Please place it on the table."
I'll start putting all my stuff on the table.
Sure.
And I'm going to keep my loot on me.
Keep your loot on you.
The magical loot.
Sure.
I highly doubt he knows what that is, what it can transform into.
You never know.
Okay, well, I'll keep it on me. If he
Good
says something,
time.
then I'll put it down.
Sure. As you put everything down, he goes, "Oh, if my lady, if you would like, it seems like you play music. You can definitely hold on to that if you so desire.
Oh,
And if you would follow
I do
me,
appreciate
please."
that. Yes.
Of course. As he leads you, he starts leading you up this small wooden staircase. You get up to one floor, and you kind of turn this corner. It's kind of a hard corner, and it seems like kind of compact in here. It's very stone. I mean, everything is made out of stone in here, but wooden floor with inside. This looks very fortified. As you go through another door, it seems like this is like a kitchen area. It looks like there's some water boiling over an open hearth. Some tables set up as well too. You see somebody, this older gentleman, he's sitting there. He's like chopping. He kind of looks up and waves at you and goes, "Oh, a visitor," and goes back down to making his food. Royce leads you through another doorway, which seems to be like an office area. There seems to be a couple desks and some bookshelves, some lit candles in here as well too, a chandelier hanging down. And he walks over to this other door and opens it. And as you walk inside, it looks like there's a bunch of beds in here. And he looks at you and says, my lady, this is our quarters where the guards sleep. Please make yourself at home. If you do need anything, just knock on the door. We shall bring you food and drink shortly. Feel free to play. And just to let you know, I want you to know that you are not going to be harmed unless your crew decides that they want to do anything here at Tidewater Rock. If they hurt the lady, your life is void."
I understand.
Right. Please be comfortable. And again, if you need anything, do not hesitate to knock on the door. He walks out. He takes a small bow to you, closes the door. You hear, as he locks the door behind him, and you hear footsteps walking away. Maybe about 15 minutes later, you guys see Royce coming down the steps. He walks back up to the ship and says, "All right, all officers as well. Captain, you and any other officers that you have. Mrs. Zara, she is put away. She is quite safe. If you would all like to come in and you can talk to Lady Smithy. We shall set you all up in our dining room that we have, and we can discuss terms and what you would like to do there. Are we in agreement, Captain?"
We are. Royster.
So
yes. So rest of the officers, we will leave Sandara in charge, and I think we'll take Owlbear to man Lavinia's dream on the way over.
Sure. You guys hop on. You guys, make your way over. Royce bows to all of you, offers his hand. Welcome to Tidewater Rock, Captain.
Well, thank you.
Raise your hand. If you would please follow me. As he starts leading the rest of you. Owlbear rows back to the Siren song as everybody stands watch. The rest of the guards and everything, they all bow to the rest of the crew, and they lead you all up into the tower itself. You guys see the same thing that Azar had seen. This seems just like a big room here on this first floor. It seems like there's like ballista bolts. Seems like there's wood as well too. Looks like there's a pen for some animals. Lots of barrels, like some fruit and everything. Like almost like a storage floor. And he leads you up a set of stairs. You come to a small landing. He leads you through a door. You see this gentleman. This older gentleman like cooking some food. He goes, "Oh yes, I hope you all are ready for some chicken and duck this evening. Perhaps if you stay for dinner, I shall make up something nice for you." As he waves to the rest of you and lowers his head back down and continues chopping. They lead you through another door. Azar, actually give me a perception check.
Azar or Aradia?
Azara, give me a perception check.
Okay. I left Pluck on the ship. I wouldn't have brought him here. 14 plus 7.
14 plus 7. Yeah, you actually hear like some footsteps, like multiple footsteps, like out in that office area where you were at before, and you hear another door open. And as this other door opens, you guys kind of hang this right down this hallway, and you see arrow slits that you can see out into the ocean. Another set of wooden stairs takes you up to the next floor of the building. And actually, as you're going, it seems like a spiral staircase at this point. You guys actually head up. There's a door to your right that seems shut. You go up past that, up another floor. As you open up into another room, and in this room, there is what looks like a fireplace on one side of it. It's fairly bare in here as well, too. On this long table with this red like runner on top of that. Looks like it's made of velvet. It looks like there's some glasses sitting out with some wine and rum glasses. Up along the one side, it seems like there's this giant picture, and it looks like the Lady of the Rock standing there with this man. You really have no idea really who the man could be. But then at the far end of the table, you see Lady Smithy standing there. She stands up out of her seat. She's like, "Oh, hello, Captain. Nice of you to join me. Seems like everything is good. And again, I know that I want you to know that I definitely want you to know that as long as you all do not cause any trouble, that Lady Azara is going to be well protected. If you all start anything, her life is void."
My lady Agasta, I can assure you that my officers here are all the perfect guests, and none would ever draw a blade unless blood was spilt by you.
Of course. The only time that we ever draw our blades is if we are ever set upon as well at first. But please, come, sit, have drink, and we shall talk business. And there are chairs for each of you to sit down in. As she sits back down in her giant, her bigger oaken chair at the head of the table. It seems like it's got this crushed velvet purple cushion on it. Sits back, takes off her rapier, and it seems like she almost puts it into like the hand, or well, what's the thing called? Oh, hand, not handhold. Sides, armrest. Thank you.
Armrest.
Like slips it in, like it's almost, and almost like it has its own little holder. She slips it in and sits back, pours herself a glass of wine, and takes a drink. Now, Captain, you said that you came here for you wanted to trade, yes? Is that what I'm to believe? Correct?
That is correct. In fact, our quartermaster, Aradia, has all of the inventory of what we have that we wish to sell.
Excellent. Yes, my dear. Oh, so you're looking to, so it's essentially your plunder that you've gotten from other ships. Now I must ask you, these goods, I really don't care where they come by, but you seem like a fairly noble lot. How many people did you murder to actually get your hands on some of these goods? And she just kind of smirks at you a little bit. It's quite all right, Captain. I'm just I'm messing with you right now.
I understand.
Lighten up.
Yep.
Let's lighten up. You, Mr. Tall Red Tiefling Man, you can take a breath. You seem very stiff. Please have a drink. You're fine here.
I prefer not to drink on the job.
That's all right. Would you care for some water?
Do you
I
have
would take some of that.
cucumber and lime?
Lemon and lime. Yes, I do have that. That is totally fine. But if you don't want to drink, be a little bitch about it. That's fine. And she just kind of looks up at you and just kind of winks as well too, and just smiles a little bit. It's all in good fun. I think all of you just need to relax. You're here. You're fine as long as we have no problems. It's been a while since I've actually had anybody here. So yes. So Miss, you said Aradia. That's quite a beautiful name. Please, yes. What's what are your stocks looking like? Now, actually, I must tell you as well too. Unfortunately, I don't have much money here. A lot of our storage has run dry, so I don't know how much I could actually give to you. But any other terms, please? Anything that you have of use, or I might like as well. Please spill the beans, mate.
Yes, and I will, from my belt, I will take out a small scroll, a list of some of the items, just basic wear that we would like to perhaps sell and trade, as well as our plunder, and I'll slide that over to her, and she'll kind of point on the paper there. She'll say, well, as you can see, we recently acquired a lovely ivory candelabra that I think would look beautiful in this room.
Oh, you mean like that one? And she points to the side, and there's that looks like an ivory candelabra that looks almost exactly the same that you guys brought.
Is it just one? Does she have just one?
Oh, no. And then she goes, and like that one too. And then you actually look around the room, and there's an ivory candelabra on each corner of this room.
What's another one to your collection?
Yes, of course. I can always put it up in my room. Oh, ivory candelabras everywhere you go. Nobody ever wants them anymore. Do you ever notice that? Nobody likes ivory candelabras anymore. How sad. You should definitely keep it, my lady, my dear, if anything. But yes, seems like, I don't know if I can if we have enough money in storage that I can give you for all. It seems like you have a lot of plunder on here, but I could perhaps give you full price for at least half. I do believe that would be about 5,000 gold, if I'm not mistaken.
I will cast message just to the captain and say, Captain, it looks like we may not be able to get as much as we were hoping, but I think half of our plunder being traded is a good deal that we should take.
I'll just nod. Yes, that's
right. Thank you for being so gracious, Lady Smithy.
Of course, ever since my husband's disappearance years ago, had to be kind of as most people say, a hard ass, you could say. I've had my fair share of people trying to break down the doors of the tower, but when I have some groups such as yourselves that come in with good hearts as well, and it's very nice. I don't get that often. I appreciate all of you being as kind as you have been, and not being a pain in my ass. Thank you.
I'm
Lady
sorry
Smithy,
for your
that's-
loss, but you had said that your husband disappeared?
Yes, he actually went out to sea. He went plundering, or not even plundering, but he went on the sail looking for treasure. And as she starts kind of saying this, she starts talking about her husband. And it's almost like this story takes us up and through the rooftop and across the seas. As she's talking about her husband, which he has a name as well too. I have his name here somewhere, which is something. It's her husband. It's that guy. What's
Kenny?
What's your husband's name? What is it? Oh, Iron Burt
Steve.
Smithy.
Iron Burt what?
Steve the pirate. Iron Burt Smithy. As we actually, as she's telling this tale of Iron Burt Smithy, and how he was actually a pirate as well too. that sailed the seas, and he would come across other pirate ships, and he would sink them, especially ones that he knows have tried to crack the rock before, telling you the tale of how multiple pirates have actually tried to break into this keep itself, but it's very well defended. It's very hard to do that. He went out sailing one day, and you see him upon this ship. He's standing there, and you see these battles that he starts having as well too. As he stands there amongst sunken ships, different flags that are just kind of blurred out from your perception of it, and you see all this plunder. You see him like pulling back up into the bay and getting out, running forward, and kissing his wife. And he's actually a fairly tall gentleman. He's almost built like Bennett. Like Bennett and Lockhart, just kind of like big guy, like longish blonde hair as well too. He kind of keeps it back in a ponytail, and he's just got this just beard, nice long beard, not more kempt than Bennett's is. Bennett's is a little unkempt, but just this nice blonde beard as well too. These vibrant blue eyes, and talking about how to and fro, and just you see him gifting her with an ivory candelabra, and as another ship and other stories telling, gifting her another candelabra and all these other goods. And as he's standing on the ship, we see these other ships coming into port, and she tells you about a Pegsworthy has visited multiple times and how they've traded with Pegsworthy. And then we see him on his ship, and there's an explosion that happens on the side of his ship, and like some of his crew members go flying all over the place, and as our view kind of starts to blacken from her storytelling, we see this ship coming directly at them, and we see the sail that all of you know, the sail of the Wormwood. She's like, yes, that was a tale of my husband. He, that dastardly ass Barnabas Hannigan. If I ever saw him again, I would grab him by the balls, and I would rip them off with a jagged piece of slate and shove them down his throat and push him from the top of this tower until his body fell to pieces amongst the rocks below. That fucking bastard. Sorry.
You have no need to apologize, my lady. I think everyone in this room shares your opinion of Barnabas Harrigan. We have all found ourselves slaves above the Wormwood before we were able to form our own ship.
You mean that bastard made you sail with him?
Sail for him. Whipped us. He did.
If by chance I don't get to do the whole ball chopping off, please, and she looks at you, Aradia, please do it for me. I would greatly appreciate it, and tell me how it feels to rip that bastard apart.
It would be my pleasure, my lady.
She takes another shot.
I can
a message to the captain.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
her. That's what I'm going to say.
I can assure you, my lady, should anyone in this room meet Harrigan again, he will not stride forth from the encounter with his testicles intact.
That is good to hear, Captain. I greatly appreciate it. Well, it seems like everything is done. Actually, if you would all like, while we're moving some of the goods and everything, I can have my cook prepare something for dinner. You're all more than welcome to come back for dinner if you so desire. It's been great chatting with all of you.
That is incredibly kind, your ladyship. We would be honored.
Well, good. And I will make sure that when you do go back to your ship, that Lady Azara will be with you as well too. She will meet you outside.
Thank you.
Yes, and we shall regale of stories of all of you. I'm very curious how an old man such as yourself became a captain. How a giant tiefling. I've only met like one of you ever before as well too. Normally not very, very kind that you are. Seems like a very hobgoblin, yes? Very cute and adorable. I could just pinch your cheeks. How old are you? You look like you'd be but a child.
Oh, well, it's a little deceptive. I've always looked this very youthful. You know, I've actually dabbled in a whole bunch of different kind of concoctions to make my skin look all nice and flush. But thank you. You know, as a matter of fact, I am working on trying to get some this kind of cream that it actually kind of looks like you actually reverse age. I haven't got quite the formula down yet. Don't worry, I won't sell it until I know it works. But I would think it would just look fantastic. And I would love to be able to apply it on myself and like change like my age. I think that'd be awesome, amazing.
I feel you on that. I've got all these bags and wrinkles as well too. And how about you, hairy man? You're very quiet as well. I want to hear more talking from you as well. Your crew captain, very generous. They allowed the two of us to talk, and all of you listened for. Oh my goodness, Royce, how long has it been? Oh, it's been at least 2 hours, milady, that she's been regaling you all of this tale. She goes, yes, please make your way down back to your ship, and I will see you off for dinner. I think I might take a quick nap. My dogs are killing me, and dinner shall be quite delicious. And Royce, if you would please escort them downstairs. Royce gets up. All of you arise. She raises up and she raises her glass to all of you, takes another shot, and she walks over to one of the arrow slits and kind of lays her arm up and peers out into the ocean. During this time, Mrs. R, what are you doing? You're in this room with like about 5-6 other beds in here. What have you been doing this entire time?
I'd probably be looking around, seeing if I see anything, or just curiosity.
Sure. Give me a perception check. You're just kind of looking through stuffs.
Yeah, just looking. That is an 18.
18. Yeah, I mean, kind of looking around. These quarters, as Royce told you, these quarters belong to the guards. Narrow plank bunk beds. They're crammed kind of into the room. Actually, one of the beds is bunked, and then there's like some solo ones. But there's some stools. Looks like there's a chest at the edge of each bed, so it looks like each guard has like their own chest of things. Yeah, there's not a lot in here, but as you kind of look through one of these chests, you actually find a little sack of jinglies. You're kind of looking through everything. Do you take it or do you leave it?
I'm gonna leave it.
She's gonna leave it.
This is why we sent Azara.
Very accurate, Captain. Very, very accurate.
I think I would sit down and try and play chess by myself at some point.
Playing chess by yourself? There's actually a knock on the door after about an hour, and it's that old man. He looks at you and he goes, "Oh, my lady, would you like some food? I was prepping for dinner, and word is that the lady might invite you and all of your friends to dinner. But would you like a tasting of what I've been cooking?"
Oh, I would love to. I actually am a chef myself. I would love to taste another chef's cooking. That'd be wonderful.
Oh, yeah, yes, of course. So he walks over, and he looks at you and goes, "Oh, and my name is Albers Siggs, by the way. I'm the cook here, and my wife Bernie, she attends to the sheep flock out on one of the rises on the farther side of the island, raising sheep." Oh, yes. We've it's a little bit slow to get around, but yes, we have a grandson, Mardus, who lives here with us as well too. His parents, my children went with the Lord of the Rock here, and unfortunately they did not return. But we're always looking to see if he wants to join a crew as well. Maybe it would be a good place for him to jump on if you're all looking for other crew members. If not, I'm sure he would understand. And he'll be like, "Let me get you some food," and he walks back and like he brings you a plate, not super full, but roasted potatoes. That's turtles, precious. You know, potatoes, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Potatoes, a piece of a rack of lamb, fresh salad. Yeah, fresh salad with tomatoes on it. and like some
Okay,
fresh baked
Fuji.
bread, a piece of bread with like homemade butter on it as well too. And he's like, I hope you
Ooh.
enjoy this. It took me most of the night and the morning to get this right, but yes, if you all do stay for dinner, I hope you are all hungry, and perhaps depending on how many people are on your crew, I might have some leftovers that we can take them as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. I kind of like look at him and like joke with him and go, "You're not poisoning me, are you? Is this my last meal before you all kill me?"
Oh, no, my dear. If it was poison, I definitely wouldn't tell you. Little joke. No. I may look old, but poison is not in my bag. If I wanted to kill you, my lady, I would just take this dagger on my side and shove it right into your throat. Oh, just a little humor with you, and it just claps your shoulders. Oh, yes, no, you'll be fine, my dear. Please enjoy, and I'm sure once the meeting is done, they will bring you back out, and you will be allowed to meet the rest of your crew to go back in the ship and get ready and whatever it is you must prepare for the day and the evening.
Thank you so much. I will enjoy my food. Thank you.
Oh, yes, of course, my dear. And again, if you need anything, please don't hesitate to knock. Bye now.
Thank you.
Closes the door, and you hear the lock, and you just hear the slow footsteps as he walks away back to the kitchen. All of you, Royce is now leading all of you downstairs. You go back down through the office area, back down onto the lower decks. Azara, you hear all these footsteps again, like on the outsides, and after a few minutes, you hear some footsteps coming up, unlocking into the door, and it's Royce. He goes, "Oh, my lady, the meeting is finished. Everything seemed like it went all right. I will give you your things back once we get downstairs, and you will be free to go join the rest of your crew back to your ship. And it seems like all of you are going to be coming back for dinner this evening."
Oh, lovely. I actually, your chef was very kind to give me a taste of what's for dinner. Me being a chef and all, but I have an empty plate. May I bring it to the kitchen?
Don't worry about it, my lady. I will escort you down. Leave the plate where it is, and we will take care of it. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
As
Follow
he
you?
Starts. Yes. Oh, yes, please. As he starts taking you back downstairs, you kind of notice that that the front door is open. The rest of you guys were led back out onto the shore, waiting for Azara. One of his guards hands you all of your items that you have, your sword. You kind of look through everything. Everything is there. And you guys all look up and you see Azara walking down the slate stairs, meet you by your ships. Royce actually escorts all of you. So if you want to get some of your crew, I will get a couple of my men. Go ahead and we'll start unloading some of your plunder that you have. Some of the other items on your list, Mrs. It was Aradia, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I do believe the lady, she will go over some of that, and she might want to purchase some of the items off the list from you as well too. But please help out my men any way you can. We'll just load up all your plunder inside the storage chamber, where the first room that you all came into. And then please go get ready. Anything else you must do on the ship, preparing yourselves. And I will come back out and let you know when we are ready for all of you to come up for dinner. Captain, it was a pleasure, and we shall see you later on this evening. As he bows to you and he turns. Excellent. Bows, turns, walks up. Owlbear rows himself back over and pretty much picks you guys up. And for the next few hours, you guys are able to unload some of this plunder. So I will say you guys, about half of your plunder, you're able to take off. So that'll be at least 5 points of plunder, which is going to equate to about 5,000 gold for you guys. Yay! Getting rid of some plunder. Congratulations. As it starts getting into evening, as well too. Are you guys prepping? What are you guys like wearing for dinner? This is what I'm really curious about. What's everybody gonna wear for dinner?
A shirt.
Okay, Bennett's gonna have a shirt.
Yeah,
and that's it. He's not gonna have any pants or boots or anything. Just a shirt. He's gonna be the
I'm pretty much
opposite of
just wearing,
Lockhart.
essentially wearing what I have now, but I'm gonna like try to comb my hair a little bit, kind of pull it back into a somewhat of a ponytail, a kempt ponytail anyway. So yeah, I'll try that.
Excellent. Yeah. Anybody else
Yeah,
getting
I think
fancy?
Aradia
Lockhart.
really hasn't. Lockhart, you wearing a shirt?
I am wearing my fluffy pirate's shirt, the white one. I've cleaned it. It's I prestidigitated myself. So I smell like sage and lavender. While no one's looking, I like take out my toupee, wear it, cast mirror image, see how it looks. I'm like, no, stupid.
Yeah, no.
And
You just hear in your head, yeah.
stuff.
Where the fuck did you get that thing from, Lockhart?
I know. I bought it. I bought it from I don't whatever island we were at the first place.
Oh yeah, the one that where you beat up the bloody knuckles and such, and then they ran you off. Yeah. I don't like it. Don't ever put that on again. You look ridiculous.
No, I just wanted hair like Bennett, and I thought I could do it, and it's not.
Don't be like Bennett. You're Lockhart. You are unique in your own way. Don't try to be like Bennett. If you want, be like Mr. Buckethead. That was a real man right there. And you hear just
That was a real man. Oh, well, do you really know? Azara, don't roll your eye. I don't hear this conversation.
Aradia, what are you wearing this evening?
I don't think she has much in ways of new clothes, so she will tiptoe down to the captain's quarter and ask him if he can just put a little prestidigitation on her.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I look a little bit more spiffy, and I'll comb my hair and do it in a low bun for dinner.
Low bun. Very nice, very nice. Captain, how about you? Up in your captain's quarters? You wearing your nice slippers this evening?
I'm gonna wear my nice shoes with the silver buckles, and according to my my items list, I apparently have fancy clothing. I'll be wearing that.
I believe we got that from the Chelish people.
Yeah, it's some Chelish
maybe.
fancy clothing. Yeah,
some fancy Chelish clothes. All right, Mrs. Zara.
I think I'd go also to the captain's quarters and see him looking through the Chalice clothes. And Captain, may I borrow a sash or two?
Yes, of course. It is important that we look at place and at ease. The lady was seemed quite miffed that Lockhart was so stiff in her presence.
Yes, I'm sure he was stiff in other ways too. I grabbed some sashes and I put it on, and then I fix my hat, press it to whatever you pronounce it, on me.
Mm-hmm. Can't do it if you can't say it.
I can't say it. You know I can't say it.
You can't do it.
And
okay,
then,
yes, you can prestidigitate yourself.
And then I grab I see a really nice deep red vest, and I change up my vest and all right, Aradia, do you want to borrow some of these?
Adding maybe a sash or two would kind of spiffy up the outfit, don't you think?
Yes, I think so. And I go over and I just kind of tie it and look at it. But I think it looks good.
Thank you, Azara. I'll kind of play with the sash a little bit.
Like the Changly one. Ching, 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 ching. Ching, ching, ching. And then finally, Mr. Eek. What is Mr. Eek wearing tonight for Din Din?
Well, actually, Eek is going to he's just going to try to clean off some of the stains that he has on his shirt and stuff and on his vest. But what he's actually going to run downstairs and quickly make is he wants to actually make two batches of something called Alchemist's Kindness. And what this actually does is 10 minutes after drinking it, it completely eliminates all effects of a hangover. And he's going to give it as a gift to Miss Smithy.
Okay. All right.
And he's going to put it in a cute little in his cutest little bottle, and he's going to put a little bow on it. And hold on a second, Alchemist's Kindness, and it only costs $1 gold. Well, $1 gold. So to make it, it's half that. So
Yeah. Handful of silver. Give me a craft check for me, Eek, while you're making that.
It does not require one. It is that small of one, but if you still want me to do it, I can do it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Alchemist Kindness. I found it. It says Craft Alchemy, DC 20.
It's a DC 20?
Should be easy enough.
The one that I have here says no crafts check, but that's
Well, you know
okay.
what? You know what? We'll make it a super easy DC then. We'll cut the DC in half. Right? DC 10 to make this super easy.
Okay, cool. Because I wrote what did I have a 10? So yeah, I didn't use any fancy stuff, so that's a 17.
17. Yeah, you can make this a little pouch just for her. Excellent. As everybody, all your goods have been moved for the day. Haven't received any money just for it yet, but that will come in due time. And that is your GM being very nice. It will happen. You all get back on the ship, and you actually see Royce comes down wearing his black and gold suit, or his suit of armor with his long sword. As he just stands at the side, and you just hear him be like, "Yes, if you're all ready, the lady is waiting for dinner for all of you." Yeah, you got it. I'll let him know. Hey, Captain, they're ready for you.
Yes,
Tyler's just shouting for all of
Mikhail, I can hear. I'm right next to you.
Oh, he looks at it. Sorry, Captain. My bad. And he just walks away. Hey, wait, Captain. Can you bring us back something as well too? Like if there's like any leftovers.
Yes.
Like now don't get me wrong. I mean, like fish guts food is like really good, but I need like land food. I'm dying here.
I will see what I can do, Mikhail.
Oh, Captain, you're the best. I appreciate it. Walks away. Albert's standing there. And he goes, Captain, I'll row you back over. All aboard, everybody. You guys get into Lavinia's dream, already set for you, as he rows you all back over onto the shore. Royce greets all of you again. Welcome again. I hope you are all prepared with empty stomachs. Hopefully not too empty. But we have created a nice meal for all of you. I hope you all do enjoy. As he leads all of you back upstairs, back up to the room that you all met with Lady Smithian before, and sitting upon the table, there's like more wine glasses. There is it looks like there's more ivory candelabras that have now been set on the table, all of them lit, very nice, like golden and like pearl dinnerware sitting out, like silver utensils as well too, glass goblets inlaid with like silver and jewels as well too. Oh, hello, Captain, welcome. I hope you are all prepared for dinner. Please sit. Mrs. Aura, I hope that keeping you down in the room, that it wasn't too uncomfortable for you, my dear.
Oh no, it was fine. Your chef was very kind for me to have a taste of what's in store for tonight, and your guard has been very sweet. So thank you for your hospitality.
But of course, I mean, Alvarez is always very taken by young, beautiful women. My goodness, but he is very sweet. He is very, very sweet, and I'm glad that he was able to give you some food, gave you a taste of what is to come, and there shall be other refreshments and more food as well too, to fill our bellies, and you all can regale me with tales and stories I would like to hear. And please feel free. I don't really have any place for any of you to stay, but if any of you get drunk, I'm sure I could find some place for all of you to bungle down for the evening. You could stay in the crew's quarters as well too. Totally fine. Please sit and let us have some food. And Mr. I do believe it was Lockhart, correct? I do like your shirt. Very fancy, a little frilly for my taste, but you look very handsome. Actually, gentlemen, you all look very handsome, and the ladies, you all look very beautiful this evening. You all didn't have to get all dolled up for this. It's just little me and Royce. Royce, I hope that you're going to stay for dinner. Oh, yes, of course, my lady. I shall join all of you for dinner as well, too. But please, my friends, sit down and enjoy some food. Eek, as you're all sitting down, you do have... yes, and it was Mr. Eek, correct?
That is right, my lady. I have made you a special a potion, and it's nothing too fancy, but just in case you liked our company a lot, and you do happen to overindulge in some of your fine liquor, I have made a batch of Alchemist's Kindness to relieve any morning pains that you may have from drinking too much.
Are you talking about a hangover? Who do you think I am? That is very sweet of you, my dear. I do not typically have hangovers in the morning. Only on occasion, if I might drink a little bit too much. And we're actually bringing out the good stuff tonight. So, you know what? I might need that this evening for tomorrow morning. But that is very kind of you, Mr. Eek. I appreciate it. As you all sit down, all this food starts coming up. You see Albers and then the old cook that you all saw earlier in the kitchen. He walks over, starts placing food, and a couple of the other guards as well too are helping with it. And you see this older woman come in. He introduces her as Bernie, his wife, and there's potatoes, there's rack of lamb, there's fresh salads, and also they bring up there's like 3 different kinds of pie as well too, and just all these other like roasted zucchini and all this other stuff. As they're telling you that on the top of the island, she's regaling you with more stories, and Albers is talking to you, Azar, about the gardens that they actually have on the higher mountaintops here that are hidden from other people. It's very hard for them to get up there. They're asking about other tale. Are you guys telling them stories about the kind of stuff that you guys have been through as well too? Regaling stories. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. All of you are having a grand old time. How many of you are drinking? Raise your hand.
I would like to send out a message to the crew just to encourage them to, if they wish to, feel free to drink so that you are not stiff, but not so much that you cannot get stiff. Okay, Lockhart?
Did you hear that, Lockhart? You stiff right now? I can't hear you.
Can't hear a thing he's saying.
Okay, it's okay.
Good. I said something extremely sexual, and then they landed perfectly.
I would expect nothing less from Lockhart.
Yeah.
As the night trails on, like it's like getting later, but like the food keeps coming, and all of you guys are having a grand time. And Miss Lady Smithy just looks back at all of you, and she goes, "You know what? I have had a great time. I hope that even after all of you leave, that you definitely come back and visit as well too. And you know what? I have an idea. We could actually form a partnership, Captain, if you so desire. And the way we could do that, we could just be friends and talk about a partnership like we have." She looks over at Lockhart. She goes, "Or we could challenge each other to a sword fight. We could see who could kill each other off as well too. You look like you could be a fighter." She just winks at you, Lockhart, and just kind of giggles to herself. Looks over at Eek as well and says, "You know what? You all could just stay here and become part of Tidewater Rock, and we could all just live together in perfect harmony." And she's like, "Oh, there's another option too." And she looks over at you, Azara, and as she opens her mouth to say something, you all hear boom as the tower starts to shake. We'll find out what that boom is next time. We continue
It's here again.
Ladies and gentlemen,
imagine.
Thank you guys so much for coming and joining Voyage of the Siren Song. We've got 3 more weeks of our 6-week adventure. Guys, thank you for the raids and all the just resubscribing and everything, and just staying with us, being pirates with all of us this evening. It was a really fun show tonight. I'm going to toss it over. Rossi, tell them who you are, who you play, where we can find you, and if there's anything coming up for the holidays. I know a lot of stuff's not happening, but or just give a farewell, and we'll just kind of go down the sides of everybody. Up to you, Mr. Captain.
Yeah, sure. I'm Philip Rossi. You can find me at Philip J. Rossi on Instagram and the Twitter. I'll be here for the next 3 weeks, every Sunday evening. Very excited about that. And in the new year, at some point, I will be leading as the GM for Harbinger's Eden Redux with a few of the people here that I'm very excited about. So it should be a lot of fun. Diana.
All right. Hi, friends. I'm Diana Restrepo. You can find me here Monday. Yeah, Sunday nights on the Siren song. Yep. And then on Monday nights, I'll be on the Norse Foundry channel with also Adam Conn over at our Alien Connection show, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then also on the Harbingers Eden Redux as well. I'll be part of that too. And then on the socials, you can find me at DianaRest3 on Twitter and Instagram. And then now it's Geek's turn. Take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Dustin Zaney. Yeah, you can find me. Am I freezing? Oh no, here we go.
I thought you were frozen at first too. I'm like, oh no, we lost Dustin.
You can find me here on Twitter at here on Twitch at twitch.tv/DarthZany. You can also find me on YouTube on the Movie Couple channel with my beautiful wife Wendy. And I'm having a great time here as Eek, and I cannot wait to find out who's attacking us now. Join us next week.
Way to jump to conclusions.
And Shu.
Who's next?
Your turn.
Me?
You.
Me.
Go.
Yeah,
Oh,
you.
okay.
You, James Chu. You. You.
Hello, my name is James Chu. You can find me on the socials at ChuBear20. You can catch me here on Sunday and this Wednesday, where I lead a new group of victims through a 10-candle one-shot adventure. And then the 11th, feel free to join me on Magitech, a great person network, as we do a fundraising benefit show for Games for Love. It should be a lot of fun. We're doing Curse of Strahd Christmas edition. Yeah.
Curse
Sounds
of
like
Strahd
fun.
Christmas edition.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Wendy. You.
Hi everyone, I'm Wendy Lee Zaney playing Aradia the Witch here on the Siren song. Been having so much fun. I can't wait to see what kind of trouble we get into next week, so I hope you join us. You can also find me on Instagram and on Twitter at just my name at Wendy Lee Zaney, as well as here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Wendy Lee Zaney, playing all sorts of various random games like Little Nightmares 2. And then on YouTube, the Movie Couple channel, if you're into movie news and geekdom talk. You can find all of that there. And throwing it down to Bennett, aka Brent.
Yep, I am have asked this adventure, and I will continue to do so for the next while on Sunday evenings here. Come follow me on my Instagram channel at BennyBoyGC. And yeah, glad that everybody could come and join us, and hope to see you next week.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm Adam Conn, your weaver of tales and your man of high spirits, your GM. As Diana talked, you can find us over at Alien Connections when we come back in a couple weeks, because we are taking a couple Mondays off. And then also starting, I do believe it is December, I want to say 7th? Second Tuesday of December over on Eric Frankhouse Presents channel as we do some Ogre Force. And if you don't know what Ogre Force is, think Voltron. It's freaking people in mechs that look like ogres coming together and kicking ass in the universe. But yeah, that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I do have one more thing. As dinner was happening through the night, we hear this explosion. We actually go out the back end of Tidewater Rock, and we see our camera just coast over. It seems like we're traveling at thousands of miles an hour. We see the stars are out in the sky as we coast right over the dark water, and our camera dips down into the depths of the water. We pass by some fish. We see an eel go past. We see what looks like a giant water serpent of some sort skate past. And then we come down to the bottom of the ocean. Where we're at, nobody really knows. But we see rocks. We see stones as well, too. It looks like there's a broken treasure chest with some gold inside of it. As we continue moving forward, and we come to rest on what looks like a bucket with a broken piece of glass as it's sitting there. And as we focus in on it, we see coming from the darkness a tentacle wraps around it and sucks it out of frame, and we just hear And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming, friends. See you
Yes,
later.
sir, Bucket.
Until next time, friends. All right, friends, you'll probably still hear me chat. But thank you guys so much again for